Well, I think two kids, really. Two commits, one at Ohio State in offensive tackle Connor Smith at Colerain, and also teammate at Colerain, Cabrani Mixon, the linebacker that's going to Michigan. Both of those kids, I think, are special prospects. I think both of them will make an impact earlier in their college career. And I think this game is going to be real interesting because Tyler won the championship last year in Texas. I don't know if they're as deep and as talented, but we'll see. It should be a fantastic ball game.
Pretty special event we've got, especially with yesterday's game or tomorrow's game, I should say, with Ohio State and Texas, that we get to see the two best high school teams. Do you ever get a chance to do anything like this when you were playing ball?
Well, no. I mean, we didn't have these types of games, and you didn't have high school games that were nationally televised.
You mean you weren't that good?
Well, that goes without saying, but, you know, this is going to be a special, unique night for these kids, their families, all that whole thing, to have an opportunity to go on national television and play in front of their, their home and their family. It's going to be fantastic for them.
Pretty cool. We'll be here with you guys throughout the game, giving you updates on everything else that's going on around the entire world of football tonight.
It's Friday Night Lights, Ohio style, and tonight the Red Raiders from Tyler, Texas, have come to Ohio to show that they can play some football. They go against the Cardinals from Colerain out of Cincinnati. It's a matchup of Texas and Ohio, the best in both states, next on ESPNU. Welcome to this high school football special on ESPNU. The eyes of the football world on Columbus, Ohio, and it starts tonight for the 2005 McDonald's Ohio versus USA Challenge. Two of the best high school football programs in the United States here tonight. The Red Raiders from Tyler Lee, 2-0 in the season, the defending 5A champions in the state of Texas against the Cardinals of Colerain, the defending big school champs in the state of Ohio. Hi everybody, I'm Doug Bell alongside Chris Martin. This is a big-time atmosphere, and yet, Chris, both coaches were telling us earlier today, this is just another game. I didn't believe them.
No, there's a lot of energy in here, and these are moments that last a lifetime. So these players are going to leave it all out on the field tonight.
Heisman Trophy winners, Hall of Fame coaches, movie stars, they're all here tonight. And of course, some pretty good players. A new quarterback playing down in Texas. Of course, his brother Josh led him to the state title a year ago. Now it's Preston Hill's turn.
Preston Hill, and he's an athletic quarterback. He has good feel in the pocket, but he can beat you with his arms and his legs. He's got a good supporting cast, too. And Jason Williams, the kid has gone bananas in the first two games. He rushed for a school record, 259 yards in the opener against Chaminade. They call him the J-Train, and we'll see if he gets derailed tonight.
Colerain runs the wing bone. They love to run the football, and they have a new quarterback, Gary Pride, who has a great name, and he can run that offense.
He can. He's a little bit undersized for a quarterback, but he has good feel of the offense. It actually works to his benefit. He will look to pitch the ball off, though, tonight to Travis Scher, who's a solid running back. He's made a lot of big plays so far. He is their game breaker. And if they're going to win tonight, it's going to be on his shoulders.
What a precursor for tomorrow night's game at the Horseshoe. And of course tonight, the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell, and Archie Griffin among the stars watching this battle tonight between two champions from Ohio and Texas. Who gets bragging rights? We'll find out. Tyler Lee won in San Antonio, Colerain won in Canton. That's next on ESPNU.
Last game we moved the benches when they yelled at us. We weren't allowed to have Gatorade either.
At this time, please direct your attention to midfield for the game ball delivery. It's being made right on time by Donato's Pizza, a proud sponsor of the Kirk Herbstreit Ohio vs. USA Challenge. Brittany Keaton is joining Nick Lachey and Ronald McDonald for the coin toss.
Okay. Welcome back to Columbus Crew Stadium. Nick Lachey on hand with Kirk Herbstreit, and Nick is going to flip the coin. He's from Cincinnati. He'll be rooting for Colerain tonight. Ronald McDonald is on hand. I mean, there are all sorts of stars here, Chris. This is big-time stuff.
Everybody's in the house. Look at Ronald. He's ready to put on a uniform.
Nick, of course,
ladies and gentlemen,
does stuff for game
Jeff
day. Let's go down to
here
the
at midfield as Tyler Lee and Colerain captains meet along with some special guests. First off, everyone, please welcome your host for tonight's festivities, ESPN college football analyst Kirk Herbstreit. And also please welcome the president of FSM Group, the promoter of the McDonald's Kirk Herbstreit Ohio versus USA Challenge, Mr. John Falgren. And of course we have John's best friend here, everyone's best friend, Ronald McDonald, with a special commemorative coin that he will now turn over to the officials. And to flip the coin this evening, please welcome singer, actor, and newest member of the ESPN college football team, Cincinnati, Ohio's own Mr. Nick Lachey. Nick is joined by Brittany Keaton. Mix FM 97.1 auctioned this opportunity and raised more than $3,000 for the American Red Cross relief effort.
Looks like she's gonna fall over too.
Captain. Nice and loud. My umpire will repeat. Heads he calls, and it's a tail. Colerain's choice. Colerain will defer. Tyler Lee wants to receive. Colerain wants to defend. We're going to kick toward the clock. Get it on. Let's go, man. Good to see you. You from Cincinnati? I didn't know that. What part?
Well, that was a coin flip that the kids will remember for a long, long time. Both schools rich in tradition, big schools. There's Robert E. Lee, Tyler Lee out of Tyler, Texas, close to 2,500 students. They won their first state title last season. They've had a lot of great teams, but last year was their first state title. It's hard to win a state title in the state of Texas. And they're used to playing teams out of state, and we'll talk more about that. Colerain from Cincinnati, again, a large school, close to 2,300 students. Last year, a perfect season, and their first state championship as well, and currently ranked number 5 in the country. They started higher and lost their opening game to rival St. Xavier out of Cincinnati, but they bounced back in a big way last week. So we're ready to go. Here at Columbus Crew Stadium, this is where the professional soccer team from the MLS play their games. It's terrific for high school football, and they have a huge walkway that surrounds the stadium, and a couple of thousand fans have decided instead of sitting in the stands, we'll just sit up there and enjoy the festivities. A big-time video scoreboard and a big-time feel to this game, don't you think, Chris?
Oh, these kids are juiced. You can tell there's a lot of bounce in their step. You know, this is bragging rights, and if you're a big-time player, you want to make big plays in this game.
Matt Schulte will kick off for Colerain, and Josh Oliver is deep for the Red Raiders of Tyler Lee. There's Schulte, the junior. Colerain arrived just about an hour and a half before kickoff. They drove down today from Cincinnati. Tyler Lee arrived yesterday afternoon around lunchtime. Worked out here. Yesterday had a walkthrough. The kick goes through the hands of Marquis Seaton, and the Red Raiders will start from the 20-yard line. Well, Chris, you talked about Preston Hill. His brother Josh led the Red Raiders to their first ever state title a year ago, and Preston was his understudy. Says his hero is his older brother, who's now playing junior college football and doing great at Tyler JC. But Preston is doing pretty good on his own right.
Yeah, he's earned his stripes, and he played behind his brother. He has a solid arm, but he'll also get outside of the pocket and run it when he needs to.
Their big gun, Jason Williams, who takes the handoff, goes over the left side. Jason averaging over 8 yards a pop. I mean, what a weapon he is.
He's just off the charts, and he combines size and speed. and so he can run through you. He can also run around you.
Let's look at the backs and receivers now for the Red Raiders. From Tyler Lee, Jacob Amy is only a junior, but what a body that kid has. 6'4", 225, big-time talent. The offensive line, lots of newcomers, lots of inexperience. They graduated 4 starters from a year ago, the state championship team. Again, Jason Williams, this time around the right side. Rolls forward, positive yardage again, a good push up front.
Doug, we see the game plan here. It's to give a heavy dose of Williams early and often.
And there's the guys up front, that 3-4 front for Colerain. Brandon Mills, Calvin Dixon, and you see the linebackers. Cobrani Mixon has already committed to Michigan. He's number 12 on the Rivals.com list in the state of Ohio. Eugene Clifford is the star in the secondary for Colerain. A year ago, Colerain defensively was outstanding. Some said it might be the best defense they've seen in 20 years in the state of Ohio, and that is saying a lot.
Well, those kids play with their hair on fire.
There's the fullback, Nathan Tucker. Goes forward, he's very close to the first down. Colerain says no way. And they're right, it's just 4th down. 4th and very short.
And that's a good stop up front, Doug. You see they're very stout in the interior. It really clogs up the running lanes and stops them short of the first down.
So Mike Owens decides to punt. Won't take a chance. Preston Hill, his quarterback, is also his punter, which lends you to believe that perhaps a fake could be in order later in this game. The left-footed kicker, line drive, fielded at the 35, right up the middle, up near midfield. Nice return by Kyle Lumpkin from Colerain. Let's go down to the field. Dave Metzold working on the field for us. Dave, who do you got?
Hey, thanks, Doug. I've got our celebrity coin flippers today. Of course, our host, Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's see. You got the ESPN stuff going on. You got the video stuff going on. Now you got a game named after you. What an honor for you.
Well, it is an honor. I love high school football. You know that. And not just Ohio. We're trying to create an event that every year we're going to try to celebrate high school football in Ohio and throughout the nation and bring it into the state of Ohio. We think it's going to grow every year. We're off to a great start.
And how about this new guy on your ESPN Game Day team, Nick Lachey? Tell me what you're going to bring to that team over there.
Well, hopefully, I'll just add to what's already a very established and successful group, and trying to do some profiling of different campuses and different programs, and bring a little different angle on college football and the great sport that it is. You know, some different type of theme stories. So it'll be a fun season.
As we'd expect out of you. Thank you, Nick. Good job on the coin toss. Back upstairs.
Number 9, the quarterback, Gary Pride on the keeper.
Gary Pride on the keeper, as Colerain loves to run that football. They run the wing bone. And again, thanks to Nick and Kirk for stopping by. They're doing lots of that tonight. A lot of handshakes and autographs and that sort of thing.
Doug, there's nothing sexy about the Colerain offense. It's power football with a lot of misdirection plays.
And a big offensive line, a big physical offensive line. 5 seniors in an offensive front. And there's Williams, the fullback. Over the left side and a first down for Colerain. It's power football, you're right. Connor Smith, big number 77, has already committed to Ohio State. And the guards are the big uglies there. 300 and 200 pounds. Ornella is the right guard.
Doug, when you have that triple option, you like to run, you slide your bigger guys inside and put them at guard. And, you know, with Connor Smith, he's a massive kid, 6'5", 300. He has a lot of punch. He's very strong at the point of attack.
They're just short of the first down. So Coach Coombs, you saw on the sideline there with the white hair. So Colerain will punt the football away. And a timeout on the field. Red Raiders call a timeout. Get the right people on the field. I guess they thought Colerain was going to go for it. They had the wrong personnel on the field, so a timeout. We talked to Mike Owens earlier today, a colorful fella who played college football at Tulane, and we'll tell you more about that in a moment. No score in Columbus.
Can you kindly recommend a drink with that, monsieur? Indulge your sophisticated side with McDonald's new premium chicken sandwiches. They're the tastiest flavor combinations, made fresh daily with first-class ingredients. Dude, you buy lunch? Almost have to tell anyone about this.
Yeah, how are you? Doing great. Are you watching the game?
Ladies and gentlemen, now at
Okay, all right. Did you hear Nick on the sidelines there, Nick Lachey?
Tender roasted chicken and smoked bacon with a creamy ranch dipping sauce.
I wanted to borrow a little moose, but he didn't have any extra on him. I don't know.
He is out.
All right, guys. It was interesting talking with Mike Owens, the head coach of the Red Raiders from Robert E. Lee High School in Tyler, Texas, earlier today as he talked about the pressure on a high school coach in Texas. There it is. They decided to go forward on 4th and short. And pressing forward is Gary Pride for the first down. Again, that's the Colerain game. They have 5 seniors in the offensive line, 2 huge guards. Smith is 300 pounds, Ornella is 290. A veteran center at about 270, and that's what you do. You just line up behind him and bull forward.
And you're saying I have a lot of confidence in my offensive line.
And for good reason. Now, they were shut out in their opener 7-0 against Xavier, St. Xavier, but they bounced back in a big way last week. And there's the fullback, Williams.
The 5-3 Williams on the carry.
Here's the backs and receivers for Colerain. We talked about Scherer off the top and Lumpkin. Again, the 2 seniors are the tailbacks. Williams is the junior, the fullback, if you will, in that configuration. Connor Smith, the Ohio State commitment. Ornella, not bad in his own right. And White is a terrific center. 2nd down. And 7. And boy, that's a quick move and a fumble. Colerain jumped on it. Pride's got some quick feet, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what we talked about in the opener, Doug. He can find the running lanes. You'll see it here. He finds a crease in the defense, but he doesn't tuck the ball away, and the little swipe right there knocks it out. Good job of recovering it, though.
Yeah, good stick there by Dustin Hanson for Tyler Lee. There's Gary Pride, 5'8", 175. Dominic Goodman was much bigger than him a year ago. He was the veteran who led him to the state championship. Pride with a fake and another first down. Up front now for the Red Raiders from Tyler Lee. Jacoby McKenzie is their star at nose guard. Broke his hand in August and he wears a plastic cast on it. Doesn't seem to slow him down too bad. Linebackers led by a talented group. We'll call Matt Uzel a lot tonight. He makes a ton of tackles, but George Faber, his father is a bigwig in the school system there in Tyler. And right up the gut, Tramell Williams, touchdown, Colerain. That was impressive.
Nice job by Williams finding the hole there and accelerating through getting to the house. You'll see it here, the misdirection, I think, is throwing off the defense a little bit. That is power football at its finest, Doug.
Nothing fancy, all in between the tackles, or in that case, in between the 2 big guards. Matt Schulte will come on for the extra point. And just like that, the Cardinals of Colerain have taken a 7-0 lead. Tramell Williams just found a big hole, broke a tackle, and he gets the Cardinals on the board. The home crowd likes what they see.
We have a TV timeout on the field.
I think that misdirection, though, is tough to follow the ball for the defense.
Yeah. And they're small up front.
Yep.
Playing a guy 190.
We should talk about that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Range Insurance is proud to be a partner with the Dressel and Evans Insurance Agency of Columbus and the Freer Insurance Agency in Lancaster to help bring you tonight's game.
It was a typical Friday afternoon for the Cardinals of Colerain. They had a pep rally at school. They left right after 6th period, got on a bus, came to Columbus, about a 2-hour drive with traffic. Arrived in time to dress, get on the field, warm up, and boy, that opening drive, Chris, that was pretty impressive.
They're coming out here with their hair on fire. Nice job of mixing up the calls, too. See, dive and option. Good job keeping the defense off balance.
Oliver and Seaton deep for the Red Raiders. And again, Schulte goes through the end zone.
So here's that triple option. Nice dive play, gets up on the second level. There's no safety there. He takes a poor angle to the football, and then it's 6 points.
We met with the Tyler Lee coaching staff this morning. 8 plays, 50 yards, and they were concerned about their size mismatch because up front they're starting kids that are 190, 200 pounds against that offensive line that's averages about 275.
You saw in that last drive they were getting pushed around a bit.
Jason Williams, he's the marked man. They're all over Jason, who's off to a terrific start. As you look at Mike Owens, his 10th season. As we mentioned earlier, you know, he said, hey, we won the state title last year, but if we have a bad season this year, he said, nobody's going to like me, and I could be fired in a year or so. I mean, he said that's the nature of the business in the state of Texas.
In Texas, like Ohio, football is a way of life. So guys do lose jobs if you lose games.
It was interesting talking to him. Both teams have huge coaching staffs, and there's the pass to Jason Williams. Out of the backfield, first down, Tyler Lee.
Nice job of getting Williams there out in the flat. He's kind of a two-way threat. You know, he's big enough that he can run between the tackles, but he's also fast enough that he can get out in the flat. We'll get a shot of it here. You see him, he kind of slides through defense, gets out in the flat, and he has a little speed, so he can get up on you in a hurry. Nice job of the corner coming up, making the tackle.
Tyrone Ross was the star tailback the last 4 years for Tyler Lee. He signed with SMU, now at a junior college. So Jason Williams was really his understudy as Williams goes forward now for a gain of 6. In fact, during the spring game, both schools agreed to exchange videotape. And the Tyler Lee coaching staff held Jason out of the spring game because they didn't want the Colerain staff to get an eye on him. They knew what he could do.
This kid is averaging 8.4 yards. He's almost getting a first down every time he touches the ball.
Pretty good weapon. Oops, Preston Hill got tripped up. So they'll bring up third down. Here's Coach Combs. You know that I watched the video of their state championship from a year ago. And the final shot, yeah, there's his feet.
Williams tangled up with his pulling guard there. That's the first gift of the night.
Yeah, that was Mario Trimble who tripped him up. But Coach Combs, after they won that state title, I mean, it was cold in Canton, Ohio, and they dumped him with that bucket of ice, and wow, did he have he was upset.
He's got ice in his veins, though, believe me.
It didn't feel good. Here's the pass out to Jonathan Williams, and he's short of the first down. So Preston Hill stay on the field and punt for the second time.
It's interesting because Preston Hill has kind of stayed in the pocket so far. And I think one of his strengths is getting out and improvising a little bit. I would look for him to roll out and try and create some passing lanes.
There you see Preston's first punt, 30 yards. Kyle Lumpkin will go deep for Colerain. Also Isaiah Clyde deep. Two players are back for Colerain. Off the side of his foot. Funny looking kick. And it bounces out of bounds. And again, great field position. Remember the first drive for Colerain started up around midfield, this time around the 40. Next Friday night, Jenks High School, winner of 7 of the last 9 6A titles in the state of Oklahoma, meets Springdale, Arkansas. Springdale led by Mitch Mustaine. Some say he's the #1 quarterback in the country. I know Tom, watching the pregame show, Tom Luganville, I think he has him listed as #2. I saw Mitch play in a 7-on-7 tournament in Alabama a couple of months ago, and the kid is impressive. That's next week. Talk about impressive. How about Trammell Williams?
Well, it's a triple option, which means that you have 3 options. The quarterback can hand the ball off on a dive like he did there. He can also keep it, which we've seen earlier, and he can pitch it. But Trammell Williams is already having a good day. You know, every time he touches the ball, it's mainly on dive plays. And so he's usually running between the tackles. Great start for him today.
That's what he's done so far in the first 2 games, averaging almost 12 yards a pop. You focus on those 2 seniors. And Pride, quick feet, breaking to the outside, and again, in Tyler Lee territory. Colerain just marching down the field.
Pride was a nice little dart here. He finds a crease. This kid's quick now. He can make you miss in a phone booth. You see him, here's his option. He tucks it in, gets up the field. Nice job of reading the defense. He's taking what the defense gives him.
George Faber, Matt Uzel will be very busy, the outside linebackers for Tyler Lee. Shearer this time over the left side, close to the first down. And it'll bring up 3rd down and just about a half a yard. Ball's at about the 41-yard line.
Doug, so far I love what Colerain's doing. You know, you've seen outside, inside runs, quarterback keepers. You know, really with the misdirection, it's a lot of deceit, and I think it's hard for the defense right now to find out where the ball's going.
3rd and short. Pride busting to the outside, breaks a tackle. Could go all the way, and he's gone. Gary Pride. Touchdown, Colerain. 41 yards.
That was incredible. That was incredible. You know, you talk about, you can teach these guys how to run the plays, but you can't teach them how to cut back like that. I mean, that was a great jump move, and to find that seam and cut it all the way against the grain, unbelievable job by Gary Pride.
Matt Schulte on for the extra point. 8 for 8 this season, Schulte. It's 14-0 Colerain. Check this out. Gary Pride breaks a tackle, running for daylight, and his coach, Kerry Combs, is he pumped or what?
Alex at the top.
I'm loving it.
Great cut back.
We believe healthy families build strong communities, and that's how we built our family. Riverside Methodist Hospital, Grant Medical Center, Doctors Hospital, and Grant Memorial Hospital. Together, we are Ohio Health.
Kerry Combs has not lost any enthusiasm, even though this is his 15th year at Colerain. Check that out. Now, that's what he looked like when they won the state title a year ago and they dumped ice on him, so maybe that's his happy look, huh?
I love the emotion, though, Doug. You know, that stuff is infectious. It spreads to the players. I love that intensity by Coach Combs.
Wow. We're live in Columbus, Ohio at Crew Stadium. This is the 2005 McDonald's Ohio versus the USA Challenge. Doug Bell along with Chris Martin, and so far it has been all Colerain. And Schulte boots it to the end zone for the third time. There's the team colors. A lot of red in the stadium tonight. The Red Raiders, and Colerain wears the logo very similar to that of the Louisville Cardinals.
So far, Colerain, they really haven't mixed up their plays. They're running the same plays. So basically they're saying, hey, we know you know what we're doing, but you still got to stop us.
And that's what Mike Owens told us today. A lopsided number there. Colerain 112 so far. And a completed pass to the outside and drop. Incomplete pass. That was Tyler Fleet, the tight end for Tyler Lee. At least from here it looked like he caught it and then fumbled it out of bounds.
They said he never really controlled it, Doug. And that's what I expected to see a little more of from Tyler Lee, more of a spread also. You know, getting those wide receivers isolated on the cornerback, spreading them out, putting the ball in the air. Middle's been pretty clogged up so far tonight. Here we go with the spread again.
Trying to get something going offensively. And the screen pass again, dropped by Tyler Fleet. Fleet, a junior. His dad, Gary, is the offensive line coach, and he's in the booth next to us.
They're coming back to basic screen here. That time, I think he looked upfield, may have heard the footsteps a little bit, took his eye off the ball.
And a 15-yard penalty against Colerain.
Doug, I thought that was a little bit weak. You know, if you're a coach, you can live with that one for a player because, you know, he's playing with emotion, playing with intensity. He really gave him what we call love tap. Just a little bump to let him know he's there.
Just a love tap. Just a hello from the state of Ohio, right?
That's right.
Going forward is Shear. Dominique Shear. Check that, that's Tucker, the fullback. Bring up second down. Tyler Lee flew in yesterday. Most of the team came in around lunchtime, and then about 30 or so and a few coaches made it on a later flight. And Coach Owens told us that it actually took him longer to go to Waco last Friday night on the bus than it did to fly up here to Columbus. Second down. Pressure Preston Hill, and he goes down. Jordan Miller on the stop, along with Brandon Mills.
Great job mixing up the defense there. It's really a jailbreak. He comes off the edge, and I think he comes clean. Good angle to the ball. Way to wrap up quarterback Hill. Good job of mixing up the defense. We focus so much on the offense so far, but give some credit to the Colerain defense. They're really flying around. They have a lot of speed on defense, and they're running around making plays. Big sack that time for Colerain.
Boy, they're having some fun, aren't they? There's the 3-4 look. Ola comes up, shows blitz. The dump pass to the outside to Jason Williams, who breaks a tackle, pulls forward. Stays in bounds. Time ticking away here in the first quarter.
Doug, if you're a defense, option football is responsibility football. So you have to stick with your assignment. That time you saw a linebacker come free, and he had a free rush to the ball, but he knows he has a quarterback. So he goes for the quarterback. Quarterback's able to pitch the ball. The key with option football, if you're on defense, you have to stay with your assignment.
Well, the first quarter belongs to Colerain out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Very impressive. Running behind a big physical offensive line, they seize control of this football game, and for now, the state of Ohio has bragging rights over the state of Texas. It's 14-0 Colerain.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the winner of the Super Speedway giveaway. We'll have 3 of these tonight. Our first winner will receive a personalized autographed football by tonight's event host, ESPN college football analyst Kirk Herbstreit. And joining me right now is Ike Mefford, Vice President of the Ohio West Virginia Division of Speedway. Mr. Mefford has an assistant here who's going to spin the drum with all the tickets inside. Go right ahead and spin away. What do you say? You think that's enough? All right. Mr. Mefford, do the honors.
Okay, you got a minute, so we don't have to rush as much as I thought.
Turned in by Liz Ginter of Grafton, Ohio. Liz Ginter of Grafton, Ohio, and autographed Kirk Herbstreit football. Please see the nearest usher to you right now.
So far.
They will bring you down here to the Cooper
Goodness.
Tire Legends locker room.
Couldn't imagine this.
You know, the time.
On the win. We'll see you in a few minutes. And stay tuned. We've got 2 more winners tonight.
Colerain on top of Tyler Lee, 14-0. And let's check in with Dave Metzold, who's roaming the sidelines. Dave?
Thanks, guys. I've got Dr. David Simmons, who is the superintendent of schools for the Tyler Lee Independent School District. Quite a road trip for your guys, huh?
It's a great trip for us and our student athletes. We appreciate Ohio having us here. We hope the game gets a little closer, but even if it doesn't, this will be a memory that our student athletes and fans will have for a lifetime, so we appreciate the invitation.
You talk about being a great host. Tyler, located about 250 miles west of New Orleans, and your school district is doing something extraordinary to help some of the evacuees there.
We are. We're serving about 200 students in our district that were evacuated from Louisiana and Mississippi. Today was their first day of class in our district. Things that went very well. We're very happy to have them with us, and we're very sorry about their tragedy, but we want to get them back in school and return some normalcy to their lives.
Outstanding effort. Thank you very much, Dr. Simmons, for joining us, and thanks for what you're doing for the evacuees in New Orleans.
Thanks for having us here.
All right, back upstairs.
All right, Dave. Thank you, Dr. Simmons. Very nice stuff. Remember now to donate. Call 1-800-HELP-NOW or log on to redcross.org. That's the Hurricane Relief Fund. And it's terrific to see the outpouring of support all over our country. There's the punt. Fielded at the 25, and again, Colerain surging ahead around the 34. Eugene Clifford on the return. An excellent field position for the Cardinals.
I think that's been a key factor so far, too. They keep getting the ball with favorable position. Give credit, Gary Pride is doing a nice job of running this offense. He continues to impress me.
You know, we talked to the Tyler Lee coaches, and they said, you know, the kid is quick. We've seen a lot of tape. And they were worried about containing him. And they said he made great strides from week 1 to week 2. You saw those opening drives. That time they do bottle up the fullback, Williams, who scored that first touchdown. You know, it was interesting. Coach Combs got a call last week from Pat Mancuso, who is a legendary coach in the state of Ohio, former Princeton coach. And he told him to keep his head up. He really liked Gary Pride, even though they were shut out against St. X. He said, you know, you're going in the right direction. And last week against Highlands, the state champions out of Kentucky, that got it going. And man, they're going strong now, although Tyler Lee is bottling them up inside. Let's check back in now with Mike in the studio. Mike, what you got?
Doug, we'll stay with the theme of #1 high school teams in the state and go to Tennessee, where Riverdale has a running back named Gaston Miller, who's got 22 yards for his second score of the day.
I know, I really like this guy, Gaston Miller, the ultimate speedy little scat back. Reminds me a lot of Darren Sproles, the former Kansas State running back. 201 yards on the ground so far for him.
Versus the other team, only 1 yard. He's got 143 on only 9 carries, Doug.
Wow, Philip Fulmer, Tennessee recruiting that kid. You know, Tennessee doesn't have a lot of prospects usually. The University of Tennessee goes outside the state to get most of their players, but they want that kid, that's for sure. Incomplete pass now, a rare pass for Colerain, and they're forced to punt. Good defensive stand.
Good stand there. You get a rollout here, and this is the first time they really put the ball in the air. You see a rollout. You know, they're going away from that power football that we saw earlier, mainly due to the down and distance. Expect them to come back to their power football.
Schultz with a booming punt. And it's touched at the 10-yard line and kicked out of the end zone. So Tyler Lee gets a break. They'll start from the 20-yard line. Schultz has been a star, among others, for Colerain.
If you think you're a fan of college football, then enter the Cooper Tiger's Ultimate Bowl Tour Sweepstakes. You and 3 friends could win the college football experience of a lifetime.
Bottle up.
5 bowl games in 1 week. You'll fly with 3 of your friends in private jet to bowl games in San Antonio, Memphis, New Orleans, Miami, and Pasadena. Enter now at ultimatebowltour.com or at your local Cooper Tire dealer.
I haven't seen anything from Jacob Amy.
I haven't looked his way. Is he in? Yeah, there he is.
On the field.
I don't think so. Kerry Combs, the Colerain Cardinals on top of Tyler Lee, 14-0.
See what they got here. 80.
Lee will start from the 20-yard line. Mike Owens looking on so far. 3 possessions, 3 punts for the Red Raiders. Jason Williams over the right side. Just a short gain. Nice stop by Michael Scheidt, senior.
So far, Jason Williams has been bottled up. And you look for your big play guys to come out and make a statement. They have to do it here. Really send a message to the Colerain defense.
2nd down and 7. Williams coming out of the backfield, 1st down, breaking a tackle, knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. First-year starter Jason Williams We mentioned he played behind Tyrone Ross, and anybody in Tyler, Texas will tell you Tyrone was the man. But this kid's pretty good.
Yeah, he can beat you in a lot of ways. He can catch the ball out of the backfield like we see here. You know, he also runs well between the tackles. Here's another look at it. Good job of stretching the field, getting out there, shooting a little stiff arm. He's got some size to him now. He's about 200 pounds, but he can also accelerate.
Asked Jason who he likes, his influences. He said, hey, Priest Holmes and Walter Payton, sweetness. And he's wearing number 34. Wide open on the outside. It's going to be a touchdown. Nathan Tucker. Nobody within 10 yards of him.
Take it to the house. We had a breakdown there in the secondary. We're going to get a quick look at it here. Your cornerback up top. This time he just gets lost in space. Receiver runs right by him. Absolutely blown coverage there. Great job of making a play. When the bell rings, you got to answer it.
62 yards. Pretty pass from Preston Hill. Joseph Cleaver on for the extra point. Kind of quiets the crowd. And it's blocked. 14-6. Coaching staff from Tyler Lee not happy with their special teams, especially their kicking unit. And that's why. That's just a low kick.
Yeah, it was very low trajectory. Nice job by number 7 there, getting up, making the block. Good effort there. That stuff doesn't show in on the plays. Nice play there.
Dante Thompson on the block for the Cardinals, who still lead by 8, but the Red Raiders are back on the board. Must have 10 guys.
The melted twist has again proven more than I can resist. Though it takes great inner strength to forego the crispy option. Today, I shall instead have my chicken club grilled. Oh, and can you kindly recommend a drink with that, monsieur? Indulge your sophisticated side with McDonald's new premium chicken sandwiches. They're the tastiest flavor combinations, made fresh daily with first-class ingredients. Dude, you buy lunch? Promise not to tell anyone about this.
Bridge Insurance is proud to be a partner with the Solar Insurance Agency of Columbus and the Bodie Insurance Agency in Castalia to help bring you tonight's game.
So the Red Raiders from Tyler Lee score on the big pass play. Preston Hill to Nathan Tucker. Tucker just kind of drifted out there all by himself.
Caught the defense asleep at the wheel. You get a fade right here. You know, some plays work because of skill and dexterity, others because of scheme and design. That's just a well-designed play. Nice job of getting to the house.
62-yard completion. Preston Hill throws a nice ball.
Great touch. In the secondary, though, remember, you are a pass defender first, so you can't sneak up on those running plays. Time the corner bit up on the run.
That's Kyle Lumpkin deep for Colerain. Josh Burke will kick off with Tyler Lee, and they were offsides. Mike Owens watching. He said, a couple of hundred fans made the trek from Tyler. And the high school officials aren't used to using the microphones. Kind of getting things in order here. But that was clearly offsides. Most of the fans back in Tyler are listening to tonight's game.
on KTTB Radio. That's David Smoke, voice of the Red Raiders, and he has been a lot of help to us as we came into town. And David gave us all sorts of information about the football program down in Tyler. 125 football programs in the state of Texas, about 76 or so in the state of Ohio. That's a big difference. When they talk about who has the best football in their respective states, Texas clearly has more football programs, that's for sure. More big stadiums. And again, another penalty out of bounds. The kicking game for Tyler Lee needs a little work.
I think they're still sharpening the pencils.
They're struggling. And there it is. I mean, talk about how serious high school football is. David brings a crew. Now, there's two other guys. He has a sideline guy and another guy. They flew in with the team. They set up at the Buckeye Club yesterday, and they did a 4-hour talk show. And we were there kind of hanging out, and they were getting all sorts of calls. People were asking about Colerain and Tyler Lee. Sure, the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, are opening this weekend. Texas playing Ohio State tomorrow, but most of David's callers wanted to find out about this game.
It doesn't get any bigger. You know, Texas football is a way of life. You eat, sleep, and breathe football.
And they are an ESPN affiliate, by the way. KTTB Radio.
First and 10 on their 40.
David's a good guy, and he takes his football very seriously.
He does, and he's a wealth of knowledge.
So another look at Gary Pride, the junior quarterback, running the offense, and man, is he quick. Breaking a tackle and wiggling his way forward, a gain of 13 yards and a first down.
Gary Pride's good at watch, he'll find the crease here. Now your linebacker comes up, he has to take the pitch. And what that does when he takes the running back is it creates a nice running lane for Gary Pride.
Look at those numbers. Lopsided on the rushing side. They've attempted one pass tonight. And so far through the first two games, only 10 passes they've attempted. Running is their forte. The pitch to Scheer on the outside. And he's wrestled out of bounds.
27, Terrence Scheer, the ball carrier. He's tackled by number 6.
Scheer's a big, strong kid. We're going to see a shot of the stiff arm. Look at that. Big arms. He's hard to bring down.
Yeah, that's Colerain Cuba who brought him down, playing his first game this season for the Red Raiders, a junior who most consider the best athlete on the football team. Tore some cartilage in his knee in a freak weightlifting accident, but he's back tonight. Scheer on the outside, breaks the tackle, out of bounds, around the 29. Matt Uzel wrestled him out of bounds along with George Faber. And there's Cuba.
Colerain Cuba, he talked about his favorite players, Ed Reed, the Baltimore Ravens. And he reminds me of an Ed Reed. You know, the guy flies around, he makes plays. Some players just have a nose for the ball. And Colerain Cuba is one of those guys, special player.
Yeah, in August they said he did his squat routine and put the weights back on the rack, and then as he was stepping off the platform, he twisted his knee. Freak accident. Hey, nice defensive play, Rod Brown. Wrapping up Gary Pride. Brown, a junior. And the coaching staff said, hey, this kid has great upside. Look at him bust through there.
Nice job. He doesn't go for the dive fake. That was the key to that play there. He did not go for the dive. He has quarterback responsibility all the way. We talked about option football is responsibility football. Nice job of staying in his lane.
Loss of 3. It'll bring up second down and 13. That's Scheer in motion. Pride keeps it. And you get the feeling that even though they're still gaining yardage, that Tyler Lee is kind of getting a feel for this option offense.
I think what they're doing, Doug, is they're sticking to their game plan. You know, they've given up some big yardage, but they're starting to put the screws to Colerain. They're tightening up. You know, they're buckling up those chin straps. They're trying to clog up the running lanes.
Yeah, this is a big third down play now. 3rd and 7. Tyler Lee needs to dig in. Pride under center. Brandon Wyatt has been knocking people on their butts tonight. The pitch out to Kyle Lumpkin. First down. Down around the 13-yard line. More positive yardage by Colerain. That offensive line is just chewing them up.
Doug, this is about as well as you can possibly run the option. Look how long he holds it before he pitches it. That's the key there. The running back outflanks the DN. Great job of holding on to the football before he pitches it off to Lumpkin. That was the key to that play.
You know, all the kids filled out bio information for us for tonight's game. You see the best moment, 99% of the kids, their best moment was winning the state championship a year ago. And again, working his way forward, carrying a tackler with him, Gary Pride.
Being a former player, those are special moments. They last a lifetime. You're bonding with all the guys around you. You go through the bad, go through the good. It's a lot of synergy. Gary Pride's been busy so far. He really has a good knack for this offense.
Second down from the 9. And the pitch. Shearer on the outside. Cuba misses the tackle. And Terrence Shearer in there for a touchdown. Colerain answers.
Doug, it's tough to tackle a running back in space. You'll see it here. Again, another nice job of Pride holding on to the ball, pitching it. Here it is. Tackling the running back in space. You got to make that play. But again, that is all started by Pride holding on to the ball, creating a one-on-one isolation type play. Running back did a nice job sniffing the end zone.
And another extra point. Matt Schultz. 21-6, and let's get it back to the studio, guys.
All right, fellas, thanks a lot. Mike Hall and Tom Lugan, Bill here. David Castillo is the center. That's not him. He's actually Bobby Bowden. But the center for Florida State is out Saturday. His right foot, he had surgery on it Thursday night. So last night he had surgery. He will not be playing this week, and they're coming off a very unconvincing victory over Manny, but a victory nonetheless, Tom. And you'll be able to get a chance to see Florida State against the Citadel tomorrow, 6:45, part of our quadruple header, including another top 25 team, which is Fresno State. Back to you, Doug.
All right, Mike, thank you. How did that happen? Florida State against the Citadel. Huh? That's a mismatch.
Go figure.
You know, I played golf with Coach Bowden this summer, Bobby Bowden. He comes to my neck of the woods. He's from Birmingham, Alabama, and he comes back every year and plays with some of his high school teammates. And they raise money for a foundation for their old high school coach. And he's a delightful guy. I love him to death. He didn't mention that Citadel game, though. He was maybe embarrassed about that. Let's check in with Dave Metzold. Dave, what's up?
Hey, guys, I'm down here on the field with Keith Byers, who was only the second leading rusher in Ohio State history. Also had a good long run in the NFL. You got to love a game like this for two reasons. Number one, the Ohio team's leading, and number two, they're doing it on the ground, right?
They're doing it. You're from Ohio. You love to see great running, and Colerain is doing that for us right now. Plus, they're representing not just Cincinnati, Colerain, and the city of Cincinnati. They're representing the whole state of Ohio right now. So, we feel great about our football teams here in Ohio as well as Texas. There's great football down in Texas as well, but we're getting the best of them tonight.
As a high school kid, Keith, how much would you have loved to have an opportunity like this when you were playing?
Oh, to go back to turn the time. I would have had a blast. I could just imagine. I'm fired up right now, and I'm not playing, but I can imagine these are some memory these kids will remember for the rest of their lives, because some of them are going to go on to play, college football. Others will just want to just be, high school football players. So they have a memory that they can share with their kids, grandkids, and generation to generation. So it's a great thrill. 24 hours from now, we'll be watching Ohio State and Texas go at it. I know you're a radio analyst here in town. Break that one down for us in about 15 seconds. In about 15 seconds, it's going to be one for the ages. It's going to be as big as the Notre Dame and Ohio State game was, and this one is going to be just the same. And same results. Ohio State will still win. There you go. Keith Byers, thanks very much. Guys?
Dave, thanks. Dave's having too much fun down there interviewing all the stars, huh? It was good to see Keith Byers.
He looks good.
Yeah, he does look good. Yeah, the eyes of the football world indeed on Columbus, Ohio this weekend. And returning that kick for Tyler Lee. Up around the 26-yard line, and there's the Associated Press top 10. Texas number 2, Buckeyes number 4, and incredibly, they meet for the very first time on the football field Saturday night.
That is incredible. I think Keith said it best. It's going to be one for the ages.
We'll see. A lot of Texas folks were at our hotel today, checking in, getting ready for the big game tomorrow night. Preston Hill running for his life on the outside, makes some positive yardage, and finally knocked out of bounds by Cobrani Mixon. Let's go back to the studio. Guys, what's going on?
Well, coming up at the halftime, we're going to talk about the big weekend in college football. 4 powerhouse teams playing each other in 2 games. Another powerhouse program, Oklahoma, has troubles with their quarterback, and this time it's off the field. Meanwhile, on the field, Pitt and Ohio are going on. We'll have highlights for you. An upset is brewing, guys. More on that and much more with Tom Luganville coming up at the half.
Mike, thank you. Look forward to that. I enjoy listening to Mike and Tom. They know their football, and Tom can break down recruiting better than anybody. Good stuff. Watching ESPNU. The outside it goes. Open for reception is Marcus Jackson. And he's knocked out of bounds. Eugene Clifford rammed him out of bounds. Colerain, we knew they were big and physical. Man alive, even when they tackle those kids out of bounds, they're hammering hard.
Well, you see here they're going with their spread offense to try and create one-on-one matchups, but a nice job of getting to the ball. Good job on defense of really swarming. Colerain's got some guys that like to fly around and make plays all over the field.
Tyler Lee and Ofer on 3rd down conversions. This is big. They don't want to fall too far behind, because Colerain's going to be running that clock in the second half, and Jason Williams goes nowhere. It'll bring up 4th down, and Preston Hill will be forced to punt again. We're live in Columbus, Ohio, Columbus Crew Stadium for this 2005 McDonald's Ohio versus the USA Challenge, the inaugural matchup. Tyler Lee High School against Colerain out of Cincinnati. Doug Bell alongside Chris Martin. Dave Metzold on the sidelines. Nice crowd on hand in the soccer facility. No crowd in this field whatsoever. It is flat. Soccer guys love it. The football players like it too. The quarterbacks especially. Playing in that crowd is tough. Breaking a tackle and pulling forward. Kyle Lumpkin for Colerain. Nice return. So here we go. Another look at Colerain. And there's Gary Pride, and we've talked about it, Chris, but the offensive line, we talked about Connor Smith, who's the left guard going to Ohio State, but Stephen Bays lines up at left tackle, Brandon Wyatt's the center, Eric Ornella at right guard, and Justin Rutherford. And they're doing the job.
Well, they're solid. They have size. They're very stout. They create nice running lanes.
Oh, boy, that was a huge lane. Shearer pulling his way forward in Tyler territory.
It's interesting, Doug, because sometimes size can immobilize speed. And when you have the big offensive lineman up front for Colerain, I think with the undersized defensive line of Tyler Lee, that weight, that beef just weighing on you, I think it's tough for them to match up.
Shearer having a big night. That's Lumpkin in motion, takes the pitch. And again, works his way forward for a gain of a couple. What's interesting is we watch this wing-bone offense of Colerain, and the first high school game on ESPN was Hoover High School in Birmingham, Nice, Florida, and Hoover runs that West Coast wide open quarterback out of the shotgun. I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. I mean, this is old-time smash mouth football here from Colerain.
You do what you do, and you do it well. Again, there's nothing really sexy about the Colerain offense, but they run it effectively.
And you don't see it that much anymore. Again, Pride. Going forward will bring up 3rd down and 5. Pride. Great name for an athlete. But he is really doing it up tonight.
Especially when you're a player like him. But you talked about you don't see this type of offense anymore, and it is a bit of a lost art. But I think good coaches, they work around their talent. And I think for this offense, it fits well for the players that they have on Colerain.
Third down, we'll call it 6. And again, Pride keeps it himself. That time was tripped up, gets close to the first down, but it'll bring up 4th down. Jacoby McKenzie makes the stop from his nose guard slot. And you see McKenzie wearing that plastic cast on his right wrist. He's quick.
He's tough as nails also. Good job of sliding out and getting to the ball.
So the punting team comes on for Colerain.
And for the Cardinals, the punt team, Lieutenant Matthew Schultz, back to punt.
Schultz now back to punt. He's quietly been a star for Colerain tonight as they call timeout. Kerry Combs looking on. Remember Saturday, a full day of college football on ESPNU. High noon Temple takes on Wisconsin. Then at 3:30 Eastern, Hawaii goes to East Lansing to take on Michigan State. And boy, no love lost there between those coaching staffs. They have not exchanged game film. A lot went on in that game in Honolulu last year. Bad blood between the coaching staffs there, Hawaii and Michigan State. That's tomorrow on the U. Well, the coach, Mike Owens, has been in that squat position most of the night. And he's listening to the coaches upstairs, trying to come up with something to stop this Colerain attack. And so far in that drive anyway, they stopped him. We'll bring up 4th down, and the Cardinals will have to punt away. And Tyler Lee not sure they're going to punt it, so they have nobody deep. I think this could be a fake, so they will have 11 guys around the line of scrimmage, but it is a punt. And it goes out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Good kick. Matt Schultz.
Make him have to drive the length of the field. That was a good angle kick by Schultz that time.
Yeah, very impressed with him.
He has been a secret weapon so far.
Coach Coombs animated on the sidelines. Mike Owens in his 10th season at Robert E. Lee High School in Tyler, Texas. Played 4 years at Tulane. 3-year starter. He's from Port Arthur, Texas. And there's his man Jason Williams to the outside. Red Raiders have had their moments. They just haven't been able to put together long drives.
Well, and when they have gotten the ball going, they've stalled. That play, you got to get your defensive end up the field. You got to get contained. Good defense, they know where their help is. So what you want to do is you want to force the ball back inside to your help.
Tyler opened the season against Hollywood Chaminade High School out of Hollywood, Florida. Exciting win. In the final seconds, they scored the winning touchdown at home. Hey, big first down, big gainer, Jason Williams over the right side. You have to be impressed with him, huh?
He's a tough little running back. And he's showing you that he can run, outside also. And he runs good downhill. Watch him get his shoulder square. He can run through contact. You really got to wrap him up. Control his legs. He's a solid running back.
Lots of schools are starting to find out about Jason Williams. Did not recruit him because he didn't play much his first 3 years. And he says he kind of likes Vanderbilt and Duke. Would like to go to one of those schools. Preston Hill forced out of the pocket, now running for his life, and he makes the most of it. Athletic move by Preston Hill.
Nice job of Hill of playing Houdini. Kind of navigating guys around, sending them downfield. And here you have improvision. And if you're a defensive coach, you cannot game plan for improvision. Nice job of making something out of nothing by Preston Hill.
Gain 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. He's got to be tired, got to be gassed after that run, huh? There's the oxygen tank from the shotgun. There's the blitz to the outside. Williams has shown his ability to catch the football. I think he got pulled down by the face mask, perhaps around the neck, because no flag came down. That was Dante Thompson.
He's tackled by number 7, Dante Thompson.
On the stop. Check out Thompson now. Must have caught him up around the collar.
Oh, you got the horse collar here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
First and 10 for the Red Raiders.
Thompson, a senior. His uncle is Deuce Staley, by the way. First down. Red Raiders on the march. Breaking the tackle on the left side. Big gain. Jason Williams, 12 yards. Boom, boom, just like that.
He's starting to get loose. Sometimes, Doug, momentum builds momentum. You see Jason Williams here. Nice job on the dive play, but he bounces it outside. When he gets his shoulders square, he runs pretty effectively downhill.
57 yards so far. The team ate at the Buckeye Club last night, which is a popular restaurant here in town. They have all sorts of memorabilia in the walls. It really is a neat place. It will be a memorable trip. Uh-oh, yes! It's going to be a touchdown. Jonathan Williams. It went from an interception to a completion to a touchdown, just like that.
That was a long throw. Nice job by the receiver. You'll get a shot of it here. Sometimes if you're a cornerback, you gamble on a play, you gamble right, or you'll gamble wrong. And here the cornerback, he just undercut it. If you don't make that play, you got to go for the sure tackle. Excellent job of converting that play.
40-yard touchdown catch by Jonathan Williams. His first touchdown of the season. The coaches say that he runs the best routes on the football team. Has pretty good speed, 4.6 in the 40. So they'll go for 2 to try to pull within 7. Hill to the outside and bounces it. So again, the Red Raiders will come up short in the extra point department.
Well, the one thing with the spread offense is you create isolation one-on-ones. This time you will hardly see anybody in the screen after this because it's a one-on-one. Good job coming back to the football there, too.
Brian Lanehart was right there, the senior. Oh, just missed it.
He went for it, and like I said again there, the key is if you don't get the interception, you have to secure the tackle. You can't let a guy take that one to the house.
6 plays, 85 yards. Tyler Lee hanging in there. Preston Hill with his second touchdown pass of the night.
Cooper Tire presents the ultimate
I'm impressed by Hill. He's a good-looking quarterback.
He is, and he can make all the throws. You know, he's got the measurables. He's a big kid, strong arm. We've seen a variety of pass routes. We've seen some deep out routes. We've seen some corner routes. He's something special.
Mike Owens, I know he played college football, but maybe he played baseball too at Tulane. Maybe he was the catcher. He's been in that catcher's position the whole game.
He has it down.
Man, Coach, oh man.
I tell you what, he's a fun guy to be around. He's just one of those coaches. He's been in a lot of games, had a lot of experiences. You love to sit around him, just hear old war stories.
Yeah, Dave will talk to Coach Owens as soon as the first half is completed. 1:24 to play now in the second quarter in Columbus, Ohio.
Number 26, Kyle Lumpkin back deep for Colerain.
And we'll check in with Mike Hall and Tom Luganbill in the studio. Just a moment. Kyle Lumpkin deep for Colerain. Again, the short kick. Shear fields it at the 15 and runs out to the 24. Let's check in with Mike and Tom in the studio, guys.
All right, well, as we get ready for our halftime show, we're watching this action, of course. What's been impressing you so far, Tom?
Really, Gary Pride has been impressing me. The quarterback for Colerain doing a fantastic job running that option, really giving Tyler fits on defense. He seems to know when to pitch, and he seems to know when to hold on to it, and they're keeping the ball away from Tyler.
Using the option really well, but as we've seen, it's come back, which is nice. We got a pretty good, pretty close game here coming to the half, fellas.
Yeah, we're hoping for a great second half, guys. But first things first, Tyler Lee's got to stop him. Breaking tackles. Working his way for positive yards. Kyle Lumpkin. That's quite a 1-2 tandem. 2 seniors, Lumpkin and Shear, 27 and 26, their jersey numbers.
Lumpkin's got a little wiggle to him. You see this cutback move, then you're going to see a nice little spin move. And Doug, you know, you can't teach that. That is just great instincts. A player that, you know, when he touches the ball, he makes something happen.
From the 41. Shear this time. Wow, what a nice run, and he's run out of bounds by Quet Nicholson. Just like that. 1-2 punch. They're not giving up.
Nice combination here. Shear, you see he has the ability to get to the corner on you, and he'll turn it. But there, the key again is you have to contain the football. You have to force it back inside to your help. That time, Terrence Shearer busted outside, no contain.
21-yard pickup after the 15-yard pickup from his partner. Just like that, they're still coming at him. Lumpkin that time got wrapped up. Michael Wall on the outside brought him down.
It is a nice combination. Lumpkin, you know, he's pretty stout also. He's a good-sized kid. He has good vision, and so far he's done a nice job of finding the cutback lanes.
Yeah, Lumpkin is a kid who loves computers. He's a senior, and when he goes to college, he wants to study computer science. He may play football somewhere, huh?
I'm sure he will.
He's a good-looking kid. He loves Clinton Portis, and he kind of has a running style like Clinton.
He's got a little Portis in him.
Yeah.
You guys are like jitterbugs. They can bounce around, make you miss, really kind of screw you in the ground if you're on defense.
Yeah, it's great to have those two seniors, too. They both played last season, the state championship season. Again, it's quite a combination. You think what St. X did in that first week when they shut them out, and they were looking how efficient this offense is and the offensive line. St. X is pretty good.
Well, I think you're just finding some synergy.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are really starting to gel. When we talked to the coaches, they echoed those comments. And they have a big offensive line, very talented, strong at the point of attack. Doing a nice job of creating gaping holes for them.
2nd down and 6. Pride gets another first down, and that'll stop the clock with 40 seconds to play in the second quarter. See Brandon Wyatt, 53, the center, kind of jawing a bit. He got knocked down, and
he's a blue-collar guy.
Yeah, he's used to knocking people down, so he doesn't like it when he gets knocked down. And as soon as the ball is set, they'll start that clock. A lot of hype for this football game in the Columbus area. Of course, with the Texas-Ohio State game tomorrow night at the Shoe, it's safe to say that, I mean, this is the football world has engulfed the city.
It's bubbling, and this might be the precursor.
Pride, the southpaw, shows pass, no way, he's going to run it. Get out of bounds, stops the clock, 29 ticks to play.
Doug, you know what Pride does very well is he's very decisive, and he doesn't hesitate. So when he sees a lane, he takes it. He does an excellent job of really taking what the defense has given him and exploiting any creases that open up.
You know, we haven't compared his style at all to Michael Vick, and I'm not going to do that. That's not fair to any kid. But he is a heck of an athlete. He's left-handed.
Well, and he has 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
Those are Michael Vick-like numbers.
Sure. There's the pitch. Shear to the outside. And Takarian Cuba was right there. Big number 6. Cuba 6'2", around 200 pounds, just a junior.
Back to the option football. Again, nice job, though, of containing. You see Cuba come up right here. If he takes that inside, that ball's still running.
Lumpkin on the cross in the backfield. Gets down to around the 6. 10 seconds on the clock, and they'll use their last timeout. Colerain with the timeout. 10 seconds to play, and the ball is on the 7-yard line. Kerry Combs, local guy. 15th season for the Cardinals. Played at the University of Dayton. came back to his alma mater, married his high school sweetheart. And he's just, what can you say? He's just a football coach, you know?
You know, some coaches just, they have that fire in their belly.
Yeah.
He's one of them. But, you know, I think teams take on the personality of a coach. And I love to see it when a coach is intense. He has a lot of passion and vigor. Coach Cohn, you know, he's a fire and brimstone type of guy. That's who you want to play for.
I'm amazed at the size of these coaching staffs. Each school around 12 to 14 assistant coaches. That's big.
I think it shows, you know, it's a sign of how serious the football is and the dedication to it.
Now some of those coaches, 9th grade coach, JV coach. But when you look at the staff, I mean, not many colleges have that big a staff, you know? 24-yard field goal attempt. Schultz has been the star, and he continues to be perfect. Has now missed an extra point, gets a field goal. He's punted the ball, poops it inside the 20 on a couple of occasions. All his kickoffs have gone through the end zone. That's a weapon.
He's taking advantage of this big stage and seizing the moment.
Congratulations.
The Colerain fans are very, very proud, sticking out their chests right now. They've been impressive, but the one thing we've seen from Tyler Lee, and they came back in their opening game against Hollywood Chaminade, they have that knack to come back. They have a quarterback who has a great arm, lots of speed, a running back, Jason Williams, who can catch the ball out of the backfield. So this is not over yet.
No, this is a very resilient team in Tyler Lee. You know, and this goes for all the youngsters watching. You know, if you're going to play this game, you have to have a short memory. And so when you fall behind and you make a bad play, you got to forget about it and get on to the next play. Tyler Lee, they do that, you know, and they believe that they're going to win this game. They're going to keep competing and fighting.
Yeah, last season they started out 3-3 on the season, and Mike Owens said suddenly just clicked. They got some injured players back, and they just reeled off 9 straight wins, including the state championship in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. Big time stuff. Watched that DVD, and the coach, Bill Coach, was choked up after that game as they interviewed him. It's fun to see that emotion.
Sure. Players feed on it.
And the squib kick, line shot off the leg of a Tyler Lee player. So there's still 4 seconds to play.
I like that play call, though, Doug. You keep the ball low. You don't kick it back deep and give the return team a chance to break one. Good play call there. Smart play by the coaching staff.
So here comes Preston Hill, who has 2 touchdown passes so far in this first half. And the ball's on the 37. I would think they'll take a knee and go and regroup.
I agree. I think they killed the clock here.
There you have it. So that's the end of the first half. Colerain from Cincinnati, Ohio, 24. Robert E. Lee High School from Tyler, Texas, 12. A dominating performance by the kids from Colerain.
And I think, you know, it surprised Tyler Lee quite a bit that these kids would come out and run the ball. Again, they're not doing anything that Tyler Lee hasn't seen. But they're lining up, they're saying, we know you know what we're doing, but you still got to stop us. And Tyler Lee is struggling to stop Colerain's offense.
Now both teams are slowly meandering to their locker room facilities because they're both have to go through the same tunnel. Let's check in with Dave Metzel. Dave?
Thanks, guys. We've got Coach Mike Owens. Coach, you were down obviously in your first game of the year and you were able to come back. What's the key to coming back against this Colerain club?
Well, we went to play a whole lot better than we have the first half, I can tell you that. We're in a dream world right now. I don't know what's going on. We can't get a kicking team on the field. We can't get anything done. I think we've had too much fun.
What adjustments will you make in the locker room?
Well, we're going to have to figure a way to get off those holes. I mean, they're holding us on the edges, and nobody's calling it, so we're just going to have to try to get off of it. I don't know how we're going to get off it. And we need to tackle, too. We're in position to make plays. We don't make them.
Thank you very much, Coach. Guys.
All right, thank you very much. There's the score at halftime. Colerain on top of Tyler Lee, 24-12. Let's check in with Mike Hall, Tom Luganbill in the ESPNU studio, guys.
Doug, Chris, thank you very much. 24-12, Colerain up on top, and this is a bit of a warm-up game for us, as tomorrow is the big daddy, if you will, as Texas takes on Ohio State. So before we get to that game, which we will touch on in this halftime, let's take a look at other high school games going on around the nation. And we got some real action with some real talent. Zach Frazier, a Notre Dame quarterback recruit in some Pennsylvania football. Second quarter, this is a 39-yard score. He's with Mechanicsburg as they take on Warwick. That cuts into the lead. It's now 9-6. Head to the third quarter. Zach Frazier again. A little bit of a quick out here to the left side, and the receiver does the work. 74 yards later, and he's gone. 12-6, I should say, after this score. So Frazier with an impressive debut, or at least not debut, but early on in his season, as Mechanicsburg's up 12-9 right now. Meanwhile, Tennessee football, Riverdale. Stay out of Riverdale. #1 ranked team in Tennessee. Here's why. Gaston Miller, 11 yards and it's 7-0. Second quarter, same score, and Miller one more time. Some nice moves, 22 yards. And it's 14-0 at that point. And then into the second half, even some more from Miller. Into the red zone, Denny Crane. Yet another score. It's 21-0. This kid, Miller, Tom, is putting on quite a display right here. Where's he going next year?
He really is. This is a Vanderbilt commit. And Bobby Johnson did a great job of snagging this guy up, stealing him away from Phil Fulmer at Tennessee. I think if he was 3 to 4 inches taller, we'd be talking about a nationally recruited running back. This guy is lightning in a bottle. He really is. I really like what this guy can do. He almost gets lost behind the line of scrimmage because he's so diminutive, but he's so speedy he can bounce things out to the edge. And then getting back to Zach Frazier at Mechanicsburg, this is what Notre Dame thought was the best quarterback in the country in their mind to fit Charlie Weiss's scheme. This is going to be a good player down the road for Notre Dame. I think he's going to be a special one.
Looking like it tonight. Much more from the college scene still to come. Highlights from Pittsburgh and Ohio. Coach Solich versus Coach Mustache. We're going to get highlights. We'll be fine. Stay with us. We are at the half. Colerain 24, Tyler Lee 12, and it is a great weekend for Ohio football. This high school game you're watching with the Ohio team on top. We got Ohio State taking Texas, and then we've got Ohio with a bit of an upset here. Frank Solich, his home debut against Pitt. The opening kickoff for Pittsburgh, however. LaRod Stevens-Howling gets it at the 5-yard line, and he's gone. That flag was not against Pitt, so he's off to the races. 95 yards later, a score. Pitt's up early, 7-0.
This is going to the house in the other direction. Dion Byram.
Yeah, so that was Dion Byram last week. Here's Dion Byram this week off of Tyler Palko. Takes it away, but the way I wear my hat, no, they can't take that away from me. 7-all, we are even. But it didn't get better for Palko, under pressure the whole day. Here's his numbers at the half. 1 for 7, 14 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Not at all what you want to see from somebody who was so highly rated in these preseason by everybody in the Big East. And 10-7 is your score, and his stats right now aren't much better.
No, he's not getting any better right now. Tyler Palko, this doesn't even look like the same guy from a year ago. Pittsburgh's got some serious problems, and Frank Solich has his Bobcats ready to roll. This is the second week in a row they've been playing very, very tough, Mike.
Pitt 23-1 against MAC teams all time, and this has really been the Big Least. It has not been the Big East. 4-4 last week. Rutgers blew a lead. Then we saw Pitt in so much trouble. This was a top 25 team preseason. What's going on with Wani's new staff?
Well, they're just not getting it done right now. They're not very good up front. Tyler Palko's getting hit an awful lot. He's taking sacks, and then he's not taking care of a football. You couple that with a lack of a sound running game for Pittsburgh, and they've got nowhere to go offensively. They're making poor decisions at the quarterback spot. Tyler Palko has got to get his game together.
Surprise.
It's really surprising. And Louisville, the Louisville Cardinals are looking at this saying, if we don't screw this up, we're going to sit here and run the table, and we could cause some major problems in the BCS picture down the road. And you know that's what they're thinking.
There is a cardinal red carpet that has been rolled out for Louisville because all they have to do is march through their schedule, and Pitt was generally seen as
Cardinal
their toughest.
red. Oh.
Well, I'm a writer. All right, in our pregame show, we looked at high school recruits for Texas and Ohio State, going with our theme of our high school game today. But let's look at their arch rivals now on the high school side, Sooners and Wolverines. Let's start off with Michigan. Who's coming in?
Well, I tell you what, this Michigan group is pretty impressive right now. Again, not a lot of numbers, but there is some quality to it. Brandon Graham, the linebacker out of Detroit, is the headliner. This is a big physical linebacker, very similar to Sergio Kindle in Texas. I really like him. Again, I think that David Cohn, kind of an underrated quarterback out of Statesboro, Georgia, is a guy that kind of fits in the mold of David Navarro. You know, similar big 6'6" kid, not a great athlete, pocket passer, the typical Michigan-type quarterback.
Now, he'll be fighting for a spot because Chad Henne looks like he's got a pretty tight grasp on that, whereas there is no grasp at all on the quarterback position for Oklahoma, another rival. Here we can see some of their players coming in.
Yeah, Adron Tunnell, we talked about in the pregame, one of the more physically imposing wide receivers in this class, and one of the few big receivers that can actually run and make plays downfield. Brandon Caleb, a phenomenal athlete, wide receiver, safety, cornerback, kick returner, you name it. Really, really sound player. I like him a bunch. Oklahoma right now, they're always going to do well in recruiting. They're always going to get their fair share of kids out of the state of Texas. But what they better hope is that Rhett Bomar starts playing better and worry about the recruiting later on.
Bomar is in the position now because Paul Thompson did so poorly. And for Oklahoma, we mentioned briefly in our pregame show that there was trouble for their quarterbacks on and off the field. After the game Saturday at a late-night party, Rhett Bomar got a ticket for alcohol possession. It's a misdemeanor for the 20-year-old, and there's no word yet if it will affect his status as the new starter for the Sooners tomorrow. Spokesman for the team said disciplinary action will be held in-house. Basically, what happened here was police officers walked to a lawn in Norman late at night and found a couple people with drinks in their hands. Bomar was one of them. How's this happen to a guy with all this pressure? Now, granted, he wasn't given the starting nod until Monday, and this was Sunday early morning, but how's this situation come up?
Well, I think it's just part of being a college athlete, being a student athlete on a college campus. He's at a party. People are drinking. He's involved. What I do like about what he did is he was asked by the officer, you know, do you have alcohol in that cup? He said yes. Yes. He came right out and he said, yes, I do. It's a misdemeanor. He made a mistake. Certainly it wasn't the best of timing. Right. But it happened. They're dealing with it. They're moving on. And fortunately, it hasn't turned into a big, huge issue.
And again, there is no word if it will affect his starting status. So that's probably good news for him. Because if he was going to be demoted to starter, odds are we would have heard about it right now. All right, we'll get it back out to your second half action in just a little bit. Colerain doubling up on Tyler Lee using the home field advantage. We're back in a bit. that big game coming up, as we said, in about 22 hours or so. I don't do math very well. But Ohio State and Texas, Mac Brown has won 3 of the 13 games that the Horns have played against top 10 teams. And tomorrow, it's 2 top 5 teams playing. But the question for him, which has been this way ever since last week's game, is what's he going to do with that quarterback situation? Do you have a catchy motto or a slogan you would like to tell Jim Tressel?
I would. I think, Jim, you've got to stick with Zwick. I'm telling you, right now, don't make a change. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And let me tell you why. If you don't start Justin Zwick, and then Troy Smith comes in and doesn't play well, they're going to sit there and say, why didn't you stay with Zwick? If Zwick struggles, you can always bring Troy Smith into the game. But I think what Justin Zwick has done is he has made sure that he's managed the offense well, and he's not put the team in a bad situation. Troy Smith's going to bring a different element to the game if he gets into it. He's going to be able to run. He's going to be able to make some plays outside of the pocket. But for right now, you've got to go with Zwick because he gives you the best chance to have continuity. He's played in a game so far this year, and I think when it's all said and done, Troy Smith will end up being the quarterback down the line. But don't force it if you don't need to right now. Play with Zwick until you have to make a change.
Texas is ranked higher. Ohio State is at home. The Tom Luganville pick the day before to win it is?
Ohio State, because they're at home. I really believe that, and I don't think Vince Young is good enough yet as a passer to carry this team at Texas if the game gets close. That's why I think Ohio State wins.
Now that prediction's out of the way, time for a final exam on our halftime show. Looking ahead at the week's games tomorrow, South Carolina and Georgia. Bit of payback, bit of redemption. Who wins?
Georgia, without a doubt. They've got better football players. Steve Spurrier is going to take his lumps in this one. The people in Athens have been waiting for it for a long, long time. So I really believe Georgia's going to run away with them this one. And DJ Shockley should have another big day.
Notre Dame surprised Pitt last week, although Pitt surprising us this week, too. This week, they face Michigan. Who we got there?
I'm going to go with Notre Dame here.
Wow.
I know that's surprising. I know it's the thing to do right now to pick Notre Dame. I'm picking them because I think they might be one of the Cinderella stories of this college football season for no other reason that nobody's expected anything of them. So there's nowhere to go but up. And I think there's a lot to be said for that right now. I'm going with Notre Dame.
All right. We earlier in the week found out that LSU will be playing at ASU because of Hurricane Katrina, but I suppose the good news is that they're playing football again. Who wins in this one?
I want to pick Arizona State so badly, but I can't bring myself to do it. I've got to go with LSU because I think across the board they have better football players. But if Sam Keller was playing for LSU as an established quarterback, I think LSU might be one of the top teams in the land.
You don't like their quarterback?
I'm not as high on Jamarcus Russell as others are. I think he's a fantastic athlete. He's not experienced enough for me yet. I know they've got the running backs in Adai and Chiron Carey, and I know they're excellent in the secondary on defense, but he's going to have to prove, much as Vince Young is going to have to prove, that he can win a close game with his arm. And I think Arizona State, in the heat, Sun Devil Stadium is going to give LSU fits. Watch out for that one, but LSU will win.
I suppose we'll give you a passing grade on that final exam. And plenty of passing grades were handed out last week as we saw some of the best plays throughout the entire nation. We put them all together in our honor roll.
Go out there and fly around and have fun tonight. Biggest thing, play fast and hard. We got a lot of people that love you watching this game. Let's go get us a win.
Maroney has the ball, hurdles a tackler into space. He's got a chance.
Another kicking mistake for Colerain Miami. It is a great catch by Chad Jackson.
Got a man there, holds it at the 5-5, touchdown Illinois!
Two of the best teams in Ohio and Texas respectively continue their battle. Look at the excitement. Will it continue in the second half? Doug and Chris after this.
Okay. Are we on cam here?
Now with Coach Kerry Combs. And Kerry, obviously you guys control the ball well on the ground. Will that just be more of the same in the second half of the 12-point
Well, I don't think we're going to change anything. That's what we do. You know, we got to do a better job defending the pass. We can't give up the home run plays. Obviously, we got to do a better job in defense in the tough situations. I think our offense is rising to the challenge. We got to hold on to the ball, avoid penalties, stay on schedule on offense, play our game, not get caught up in what kind of game it is, but play our game. Then we got a chance.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm ready to play after that.
Welcome back to Columbus, Ohio. Colerain on top of Tyler Lee, 24-12 as we get ready for the start of the third quarter. In the meantime, Dave Metzold on the sidelines now with a, let's say, a happy head coach.
You guys control the ball well on the ground. Will that just be more of the same in the second half of the 12-point
Well, I don't think we're going to change anything. That's what we do. You know, we got to do a better job defending the pass. We can't give up the home run plays. Obviously, we got to do a better job in defense in the tough situations. I think our offense is rising to the challenge. We got to hold on to the ball, avoid penalties, stay on schedule on offense, play our game, not get caught up in what kind of game it is, but play our game. Then we got a chance.
Thanks, Coach. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm ready to play after that.
No kidding. Wow. The coach can get fired up, huh?
I think he was doing some headbutting with his players in the locker room.
That is crazy. But his system works, that's for sure. First half highlights. Colerain off to the races.
They got started early with Tramel Williams here taking it to the house. Good job. You'll see Gary Pride here. He finds a seam, gets on the second level, and he knows what to do with it from there. Nice job of executing the offense. And then Tyler Lee strikes back. Preston Hill gets a gift here on blown coverage to Nathan Tucker. Good job on the fade route, but then it's more Colerain. And Terrence Scherer sniffing out the end zone on the option. And then lastly, you see a strike back here to Jonathan Williams off of a gamble by the corner. Nice job of finding pay dirt.
There's the first half numbers. Check out the rushing yardage for Colerain, 267. I mean, that's outrageous.
Well, and it starts with the guys in the trenches. It's the linemen up front who've done a nice job of getting good surge, push off the ball. They're creating some nice running lanes for Pride and the two running backs.
Here are the first half leaders so far, and there have been a lot of big plays. Jason Williams, 56 yards, not bad. Preston Hill, nice passing numbers there. But look at the rushing numbers. Again, already 100 yards for Gary Pride.
That's incredible. He's doing a good job of navigating the offense and also spreading it around. I think the key is the big plays, though. You know, some teams, they methodically work the ball down the field. Others, they're capable of hitting you with big plays. You see Gary Pride on a 41-yard run, Tramel Williams a 28-yard run. You know, these guys can light you up in a hurry. And they're sticking with what they do best.
It's an interesting contrast. Tyler Lee flew in yesterday. It's not often a high school team jumps on a plane to come to a game. Instead of going classes today, they hung out in the hotel. They went to the Buckeye Club last night. They've had a lot of fun, as you heard Mike Owens explain. Hey, we're in La La Land. That's the way he described it. Colerain kept it simple today. Went to school, pep rally, checked out of school at 3 o'clock, hopped on a bus, drove down, normal routine. I think it makes a difference.
It does, but you know, when you snap up that chin strap, it's blocking and tackling. And I think that's the one thing that Coach Owens said at halftime. He said, look, our guys aren't tackling, you know, and unless they come out here, you know, surround the ball and wrap up, it's going to be tough to stop the Colerain offense.
And again, I'm impressed. Coach Owens back in the catcher's position. I mean, that squat position, I mean, he never, ever gets up. A tale of 2 games. There you have it. First game, 4 turnovers. Game 2 against Highlands, they just ran up huge numbers. And they continue to get better and better, more proficient with the new quarterback as everybody kind of gets in sync on that offense.
And it's interesting because in today's game, you have these high-powered, grandiose offenses, the West Coast offense, but this is old school. And it's a great example of how if you can do what you do well, you can have a lot of success with it.
Deep for Colerain, Kyle Lumpkin, the senior, who's had a big first half, along with his partner, Terrence Scherer. Josh Burke will kick off for Robert E. Lee. Tyler Lee, kind of a pitching wedge that's fielded at the 37 and brought out to the 42. And that's another thing. Colerain has had terrific field position.
That looked like my pitching wedge shot.
Yeah, what was
Way
up
too
with that? It would have had backspin. It would have gone back the other way if they hadn't have fielded it. They have had problems in the kicking department, that's for sure.
And that, Doug, was something that they saw on tape. They found a little hole in the return. Trying to see if they could steal one.
There's big number 77 at guard Connor Smith. We talked about the big fella in the first half. Again, just going for a fumble. And Tyler Lee jumps on it. Big turnover, great field position. And that's just what they needed to get back into this football game.
Just that quick. You have a turnover. Doug, that's the one thing with option football is that, the ball, there's a lot of exchanges. And at times, it can create turnovers because it's the probability when you're giving it to different backs, it goes up. And then you see a good example of it right there.
Yeah, you give it to the fullback, and when you're pulling it back out to keep it, the fullback, his force surges forward. George Faber on the fumble recovery for Tyler Lee. Preston Hill on the rollout. Gets a nice block, rolls out of bounds. And the Red Raiders are looking good so far. They were certainly back in their heels in that first half as they were trying to get accustomed to facing this wing-bone offense of Colerain. You heard at halftime, Mike Owens told Dave Metzold that, hey, they were holding us, but then again, we got to tackle better. We got to do something better. He was desperate, and that's exactly what he needed. Williams breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and gets very close to a first down.
For 34, Jason Williams on the carry for the Red Raiders. Number 1, Eugene Clifford.
Nice job of bouncing this thing outside. There was nothing in the middle. It was clogged up. Nice job of finding a running lane by Williams.
First down, Tyler Lee.
Jason Williams, he does get the first down. So they move the chains. They're at the 33-yard line.
I like Preston Hill, though. He's come back very confident.
Well, they certainly seized the momentum. Williams over the right side. Gets run out of bounds again, Eugene Clifford. I mean, momentum is a big thing. They've come out, gotten the turnover, and they need to build on this.
They have to build on it. And if you saw Preston, when he came out, just taking over as a leader. He's directing traffic, moving guys around. They know that they're in good field position, and they have to capitalize on this drive.
Clifford very active in the secondary for Colerain. He's made a lot of tackles tonight. He wears number 1. Second down and 9. Preston Hill, the quarterback. Straight back, setting up that screen. They've run that a couple of times. This to the fullback, Nathan Tucker. And he goes down to the 25-yard line. Michael Scheidt among the Colerain defenders who bring him down to the turf.
Good development here. When you're defense and it seems too easy, it probably is. Great job setting up the screen, being patient with it. That was the key, letting it unfold. Nice job of Preston Hill finding the running back.
Clifford again on there on the stop. He's been very busy. Now third down has been a real bugaboo for these guys. 0 for 4 tonight. They need to keep it going. Jason Williams, big hole up the middle, first down. Works his way to the 14-yard line. The kid has some quick feet.
He does, Doug, but he also has good vision. He finds the running lanes. He can bounce it out on you. And he's quick enough to turn the corner. Give credit to the offensive line there, though, too. They're moving some guys around up front and creating a nice seam in the defense.
Good look at Jason Williams. Said he started playing football at the age of 4. He played flag football in Athens, Texas. Flag down, ball loose, major malfunction. All right, we'll check the penalty.
Illegal procedure.
All right, so that'll send Tyler back 5. This is an officiating crew from the state of Ohio. Mike Owens, when he agreed to play the game, he said, listen, I want a neutral officiating crew. Bring him in from West Virginia or wherever. But the powers that be said, listen, if it's in Ohio, we're going to have our referees. And really no complaints so far. It's been a well-officiated game. Preston Hill sacked. Big loss. Nice play on the outside. Tyler Moeller. He's ranked very high. Recruiting services have him ranked pretty high.
This time he comes right off the edge and he comes clean. Good job of making a play, though. You see him wrap up the legs. Great tackle in space.
The top 100 players are ranked in the state of Ohio, and they rank Tyler number 46.
He's making plays like that,
Yeah.
Doug.
That's pretty good in this state. There's some good football players. So it's second down and a bunch. And the pitch out. Hey, stealing a page from Colerain, Jason Williams. Run out of bounds by who else? Eugene Clifford at the 16. They have to get down to the 4-yard line for a first down. So it'll bring up third down and 12.
That's a nice play call. You see the guards pulling there to get out. Good read by Preston Hill and finding his pitch man, Williams. See it here. Excellent job holding the ball and then getting it out to Williams on the pitch. So you can run option from tight formations. You can also run it from spread formations, which is what we saw there.
Third down, and a dozen. To the outside it goes. Jonathan Williams gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up fourth down, and they'll go for it. The coaches told us today that the kicking game is not great. Their field goals, he said, it just doesn't happen. That's what Mike said.
The kicking game is obsolete, he said, so they will go for it. That was an interesting play, though. It took a while to develop. Plus, it's a long throw to the wide field. Gave the corner plenty of time to come up and react.
They have now thrown to Jacob Amy tonight, their 6'4" wide receiver. Jonathan Williams has already caught a touchdown tonight. Jason Williams lines up right beside his quarterback, Preston Hill. There's Amy in motion. Hill flushed out of the pocket with time. Intercepted at the 3-yard line. Not a good pass. Henry Lemons was right there. Lemons, the senior, his first pick of the season. So just like that, Tyler Lee is put back. Preston Hill had time. Bad pass, bad decision.
Between Ohio State and Texas. Once again, Mike Medford, the Division Vice President for Ohio, West Virginia, with Speedway Super America, is here to draw our winner. And the winner is... Nick Northgate of Danville, Ohio. To claim your prize, please see the nearest section to be escorted down for Turner Legends Locker Room. Congratulations.
Colerain on top 24-12. After the turnover, they stop Tyler Lee and take over. Around the 4. That's Williams right up the middle for no gain. Let's check in with Mike Hall in the studio, guys.
Doug, thanks. Let's head out west to Arizona. Check in Mountain View High School. This is the second quarter. No score, no more. Pitching it out to Dan Moore, actually, for a 30-yard touchdown run. Eventually, he gets all the way, and they're flipping around on his back, and it's 7-0. By the way, Doug and Chris, in your game, Jason Williams is playing well. Is it just me, or is that not the most common name in sports?
There are a lot of Jason Williams, you're right. Easy to remember, and they're all great athletes. That's a good name. We have a lot of good names in this game. Gary Pride, the quarterback. And I like Tyler Fleet, the tight end.
All the studs on the team.
All right, there's the turnovers, one for each team. And at the time, that appeared to be a big turnover for Colerain, but it resulted in no points for Tyler Lee. There's third down conversions, 50%. And Pride ducks a tackler, brought down, so that'll bring up a punting situation. Tyler Lee a chance to get good field position.
What Tyler Lee is doing now, Doug, is they're really walking their safety down and putting them in the box. So now they're bringing the secondary up on the line, making it tough to create running lanes. Colerain may have to throw the ball to open it up and loosen up the defense.
All right, punting from his own end zone. Matthew Schulte, who's had a big game. Punting, kicking. A spiraling kick, fielded at the 48-yard line. Marcus Jackson tripped up at about the 37. And remember, next Friday night, Jenks High School winners 7 of the last 9 Class 6A football championships in the state of Oklahoma meets Springdale, Arkansas, one of the most talented teams in the country, featuring quarterback Mitch Mustaine, ranked by many as the #1 quarterback in the country. The Old Spice Red Zone Showcase Friday night, 7:30 Eastern on ESPNU. Chris, I saw Mustaine, and I mentioned this earlier, I saw him in a 7-on-7 tournament in Alabama, and he's good. I mean, he's really, he's going to Arkansas. Houston Nutt is very excited about that. I'm looking forward to watching him play. I saw him 7-on-7, no pads, just helmets. And I want to see him play next week. I'm looking forward to that.
He certainly has the measurables. The size, the arm, he moves around well, good pocket savvy.
And Jenks, pretty good high school football program. I mean, these two in Tyler, Texas, Robert E. Lee, and Colerain, I mean, they're among the best in the country. And you have to throw Jenks in that department as well. I do a lot of work in Oklahoma. And when I'm out there, the conversation always somehow winds up talking football in Jenks High School. Hill straight back. Boy, he's mobile. Oh, another pick. Flag down on the play. Who else? Eugene Clifford, who has been just huge for Colerain tonight.
Clifford's the ball hawk.
Wow, he's all over the place.
Great break on the ball. This time, I think this was just inadvertent. He gets flushed out here. He throws the ball late, which gives Clifford a good enough chance to break on it. Good read there by Clifford on the quarterback.
That penalty against Tyler Lee, so that's declined. Colerain takes the turnover. Preston Hill, 2 straight interceptions. Tyler Lee still down by 12.
I'm not dialing in anything. In most cases, in Green, we're a financially stable, growing company. We sell our auto.
Code in and
You want me to speak on this at all, or is it quick?
If you're too good.
What, it's Ohio and Pitt, right?
I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
You know what I might just do is just say, Dave Wanstead has got to be beside himself right now.
Sure. Yeah, so when you want to participate, we'll have you in. But when I'd like help, we'll just keep you there. Make sure you're
I'm not a mind
Would you like
reader.
some lemonade?
I'm not a mind reader. You got to tell me you need help.
I think I did.
You're hot. In English, please.
When I say the word pass, you go. Okay?
Okay. The word pass, all right.
Yeah.
Colerain, another interception, and now they have good field position. Gary Pride lines up behind that big, ferocious offensive line, well schooled, and that time he ran into trouble. George Faber on the stop.
Doug, he forces the ball in here. Ill-advised, but nice job by the safety. Clifford reading the quarterback's eyes. He telegraphed that pass. Good closing speed and getting to the ball.
Yeah, that's twice I thought maybe he should have run the football. On the last interception, too, down near the goal line, I think he had a lane, but he's got a good arm. There's the handoff to the fullback. Williams right up the middle. Gain of a couple. Let's check in with Mike in the studio. What you got?
Fellas, I'm with Tom Luganville, Pitt in Ohio. Time is running out on Pitt. They're down 3. It's a 4th and 1 to Rashad Jennings. None shall pass.
I tell you what, Dave Wanstead's got to be beside himself right now because Frank Solich's group has been outplaying them on offense and defense.
We are this close to seeing the Panthers start off the year 0-2. We'll keep you updated, Doug, throughout the rest of the night.
Mike, Tom, thank you. Dave Wanstead, not the beginning that he was hoping for. If they do indeed lose, there's still a lot of time there. And Kyle Lumpkin gets wrestled down. And George Faber in there. We're live in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus Crew Stadium. This is where the soccer team plays, and it's also the host of tonight's 2005 McDonald's Ohio versus the USA Challenge. The first year, Doug Bell, Chris Martin, Dave Metzold, having some fun in Columbus, a beautiful city, state capital. Of course, tomorrow night, Texas, Ohio State at the Shoe. Schulte, another big punt. The fair catch down to the 18-yard line. So that's where Tyler Lee will start their third drive. Came out in the second half, got a turnover, drove it down to the 10-yard line. Couldn't score. Again, on their second possession, got a nice situation about the 45. Rode the interception.
And really, it was 2 major opportunities wasted there. Come out with no points. It'll be interesting, though, to see how Preston Hill responds in this drive.
Preston from the shotgun. That's a little Statue of Liberty type play. They were practicing yesterday. Jason Williams gets tripped up on the outside. That's Tyler Moeller. Moeller's had a nice game along with Eugene Clifford.
Moeller's a guy with a motor, and he comes unblocked here. You see him fly in your screen. Great job of sniffing out the run play. He's one of those kids, he's got a motor, it just doesn't stop, does it?
You know, it was funny, they were working on that play yesterday during their walkthrough, or at least just to get acclimated to their surroundings after they flew the plane. Hill to the outside, Williams run out of bounds around the 16. And then they started practicing extra points, but there were no goalposts up yet. They hadn't put them on this field yet, and they went through the motions and they were kicking it into the bleachers. Maybe that's the problem with the extra points. They needed the goalposts up yesterday, huh?
You can go down there and hold your arms up.
They were still getting the field ready for football. Major League Soccer, home of the Columbus Crew. Still a few games left this season for the Crew right here in the stadium. Big third down now, and 15. And the screen pass, oh, that almost was intercepted again. Tyler Fleet, who dropped a couple in the first half, catches that, but goes down immediately.
That time, Colerain came with a blitz. So Preston Hill didn't have a lot of time to let that screenplay develop, which is the key. Again, the pressure makes him get rid of it quicker. Nice job by the linebacker retracing and making the tackle.
Yeah, Calvin Dixon leads this team in tackles so far. It was right there. Hill, the left-footed kicker, that's his best kick so far, but fielded again by Clifford right around midfield. And he's run out of bounds at the 49. And some jawing going on between the two schools. Proud programs, tradition-rich states, and right now it's Ohio with bragging rights over Texas.
Birthdays are huge in the eyes of a child. For them, it's all about presents, candles, and cake. As your birthdays go by, it's more about planning, portfolio. So ask your Grange independent agent what Grange can bring to the party. Our life insurance policies are designed to protect your assets. Backed by Grange's solid financial strength, nothing beats the feeling of seeing your kids smile at her birthday party. And accept the feeling of knowing that our future is secure.
Do you think you have what it takes to win the big game? How about 5 big games? And enter the Cooper Tires Ultimate Bowl Tour Sweepstakes. You and your 3 friends can catch 5 bowl games in 1 week. You'll be flying in your very own private jet to San Antonio, Memphis, New Orleans,
See there,
Miami,
body posture.
to be part of the ultimate football experience. Go long and enter now at ultimatebowltour.com or Cooper Tires.
Colerain from Cincinnati, Ohio leads Tyler Lee from Tyler, Texas, 24-12. They're excited to be on the U tonight. ESPN is all over this city. Cole Pizza on campus this morning. That was fun. If you saw that, the Ohio State cheerleader, as you see Gary Pride go forward for 4 yards. The Ohio State cheerleader threw a nice pass. She was tossing the ball out there to the Cole Pizza guys. Of course, game day is here. We saw Kirk and Lee, Chris earlier with some cut-ins. Can't wait to watch it tomorrow to get ready for the big game. The city is just so excited about Texas, Ohio State. First time they've ever played. I can't believe that's the first time Texas and Ohio State have ever played. First time Colerain and Tyler Lee have ever played. Nice tackle. Solid hit. Matt Uzel greets Tramel Williams rather rudely. Puts him down quickly.
Uzel, he's a solid linebacker too. He has good size. You know, he clogs the middle up. He's a sideline to sideline guy. You know, he can run the ball down on the perimeter. But he's also very stout in the middle. You're seeing Tyler Lee move a lot of guys up closer to the ball. May have to open it up in a little pass game.
3rd down and 4. Pride keeps it himself, pulls it back from the fullback. Probably should have let the fullback take it, and he's short of the first down.
Again, Doug, you're seeing Tyler Lee put 9 guys in the box. You close off running lanes quickly.
Time ticking away in the 3rd quarter, and Tyler Lee had opportunities in this 3rd quarter. I mean, the 3rd quarter has gone by in a hurry, and we're still at 24-12. Could have been much closer. When we come back, another special guest, Dr. Dan Ross, will be with us to talk about Ohio high school football. Does it get any bigger than that? Texas, Ohio? I don't think so.
This is a TV timeout.
quite great, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother, more comfortable process than buying from a stranger or some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying, who you're buying from.
Colerain is proud to sponsor today's Herb Street Challenge and fuel the star athletes of the future. Colerain, sport is what we make it. Don't forget, coming up in the fourth quarter will be the final Speedway giveaway winner. That'll be the 2 tickets to the Super Bowl coming up in the fourth quarter.
I'm not dialing anything. No, in most cases. At Grade, we're a financially stable, growing fund. We sell our auto and life policies through local independent agents. So as your needs change and the backyard has become the back 40.
This is the 2005 McDonald's Ohio versus USA Challenge. Starting the fourth quarter, Colerain on top by 12. And breaking free, Gary Pride, the quarterback. And he's knocked out of bounds just short of the goal line. Actually, he's out of bounds back at the 18. Stepped out of bounds around the 18-yard line.
Another good read by Pride. You'll see him find the seam here. Good job of getting outside, and then speed takes over. Good job, good angle there by the defender to get him out of bounds. Pride was smelling the end zone.
Yeah, that was a good spot by the official because he burst to the outside pretty quickly, and the official got over there just in time to see him step on the white chalk. So it's 1st and 10 around the 17-yard line. Ball goes right up the middle. Again, good push up front by the big guys. We've talked a lot about Connor Smith, number 77. He's committed to Ohio State. There's the big guy, 6'5", 300 pounds. Says he admires Orlando Pace, who is another big guy from Ohio State.
Former Buckeye, played against Orlando Pace.
Now check out his cohort on the other side. That's big Connor Smith, and after this play we'll show you Eric Ornella, his cohort, who weighs in about 290. 2nd down and 5. Quick pitch to Shear. He fumbles the football. It's loose on the ground. Colerain picks it up and taken back to the 17. Kyle Lumpkin picked up that loose football. But let's again show you Eric Ornella. And there's the big guy. Now listen, he wants to be an engineer when he goes to college. And I was reading his bio. It's great. He has a great GPA, good kid. And at the bottom he says, my nickname is Dr. Death. I mean, I guess that's a lineman's mentality, right?
When he puts the helmet on, he changes personality.
Yeah, he wants to pancake somebody. And those two big guards, I mean, they're the bookends to that offense, huh? And Brandon White's a nice center. I mean, those three they're the nucleus.
I think the big thing to note is how well conditioned they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they played a lot of football. These are big kids, and they're still moving well, pass blocking pretty well, and they have good energy. I mean, these are well-conditioned athletes on the field today.
Yeah, that's what we noticed about Smith, Connor Smith. I mean, he weighs in at 300, and he's built. I mean, he's a big kid, but he's well-proportioned.
Yeah, he's felt. Fine-tuned.
Schulte will line up now, a 32-yard field goal attempt. He's been perfect tonight. Extra points, punting, kickoffs through the end zone, and that's good again. He's 2 for 2 in the field goal department. A lot of stars for Colerain tonight, and that young man, a junior, is having a big night on ESPNU. Hey, the goalpost wasn't there yesterday, but it's there tonight.
Magic.
Yeah, and Matt is doing it up. Coach Owens back in the squat position. Let's check in with Dave on the sidelines. Dave?
Thanks, guys. We've got Dr. Dan Ross, the commissioner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And Dr. Ross, you might as well stick your chest out a little bit. Now the Ohio team's looking pretty good tonight.
Boy, they've had a great evening, but what a great evening for the city of Columbus, for both of these schools, for both of their communities, and all these kids.
I know you're going into your second football season as commissioner, and it's important to you to see the sportsmanship on the field, but also up in the stands as well, right?
Well, I think tonight we've had a wonderful demonstration of tremendous sportsmanship on the part of both sets of fans, but the kids picking each other up and patting each other, telling each other good ball game, good play, makes you really proud.
You see some parents every once in a while now who get a little bit out of control, and it seems you see it a little bit more each season. Now, what's your plan to kind of curb that a little bit, or maybe get the parents feeling maybe they should be on the same page with their athletes on the field?
Well, I think we're going to work really, really hard to help parents understand that there's a set of expectations, and this is a student's ball game, and they're there as spectators. This doesn't center around them, it centers around the kids.
Absolutely. Dr. Ross, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Dave, Dan, thank you. And the Red Raiders will get it around the 35-yard line. Chris, you've been involved in athletics a long time, on the high school, collegiate, the pro level even, but especially on the high school level, and we see it more and more nowadays. Sometimes the parents get out of hand, don't they?
Yeah, and you like the parents to be passionate, but you have to put a fence around it. You got to control it. And you love the enthusiasm, but you got to color between the lines.
Yeah, it's a passionate sport. You're right. And the handoff to Jason Williams. And let's check in with my call, Tom Luganville, back in the ESPNU studio, guys.
Fellas, final seconds, Pitt and Ohio. They're down 3. They need a field goal. 27 yards out. Josh Cummings, Goulet, splits the uprights, Tom, and ties this thing at 10. We're going to overtime.
I tell you what, by the hair of their chinny chin chin right now.
Just barely. Pitt is hanging on. They're almost going in overtime. They're about to knee it right now. There we go. We're in OT. We'll give you the first update as it happens.
All right, Dave Wanstead trying to get that win. He'll take it any way he can get it. It's going overtime. Pitt's got the new helmets this year, huh? They got rid of the Panther on the helmet. Who else? Eugene Clifford on the tackle. Jason Williams getting roughed up now. Eugene, a junior, really having a big game tonight.
Eugene brought his cape with him because
Yeah.
he looked like Superman all evening. He just has good ball skills. You know, some guys just have good ball skills. Here you see him sniff out the dive play, comes up, puts a helmet on him, and he really squares up the running back nicely. It's a textbook tackle. You know, puts the helmet on him, gets his arms around. He is a solid football player.
Yeah, now in his bio, he likes the book of Mice and Men.
And he sides to Mr. Clifford.
Yeah. And tripped up around the 35-yard line. Making the stop, Tyler Moeller. Moeller loses his helmet.
Who needs a helmet to play ball? This is a great coverage. That's what kills this play here, Doug. Good coverage downfield. Preston has nowhere to throw the ball. Nice job of the linebacker pursuing. Who needs a helmet to play football?
It's 4th and 15, so the Red Raiders will be forced to kick, and they call timeout. Reason being they didn't have enough players on the field, and at halftime, Coach Owens told Dave Metzold that was one of the things that was bugging him. He said, hey, gosh, we can't even get people on the field for punts and extra points. And they had to burn another timeout there.
And that's frustrating for a coach, isn't it? As if it isn't tough enough already. Got to get the right number of guys on the field. That's just a mental mistake. And that will drive a coach absolutely insane.
Kerry Combs still fired up. His team up by 15. They won the state championship in Canton, Ohio. And Dominic Goodman was their quarterback. 279 yards in that championship game, 4 TDs. You know, I watched that game again last night. They sent me the DVD. He was all smiles. First quarter, he fumbled 3 times. I mean, it was a slow start for Colerain, but boy, he got it going. And he was good. He was good at running that offense.
Very resilient. One of the key factors in the game of football.
And a punt down at the 30-yard line. You know, it's funny. These high school teams, they give you DVDs of their games to watch. You know, high school's come a long way, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to announce the grand prize winner in the Super Speedway giveaway. Our winner will receive 2 tickets to the Super Bowl 40 in Detroit. And we have Tim Mullen, area manager for Speedway in Columbus. Colerain, how about a drum roll? Beautiful. And the winner is Kelly Nash of Westlake, Ohio. To claim your prize, please see the nearest usher to be escorted down to the Cooper Tire Legends locker room. And remember, ladies and gentlemen,
Join ESPNU in support of the American Red Cross Relief Fund and help those affected by Hurricane Katrina. Call 1-800-HELP-NOW or go online at www.redcross.org to see how you can help. Yesterday, City Hall, Columbus, Ohio. It was really a nice scene. All the radio stations in town did their shows. All the TV stations were live. They had bands. The cheerleaders for Ohio State were out collecting money. They did it all day from early in the morning to late in the evening. And they raised, I think, close to $400,000, something like that. And it was really a nice scene yesterday.
Great gesture and just people pulling together, Doug.
And we'll be watching some of the football teams. Southern Miss has moved to Memphis, Tennessee. They've worked out at Memphis, and they'll play at Alabama tomorrow. LSU forced to move their home game to Arizona State University. We'll be watching and rooting for those kids. Tulane University, obviously, no longer able to practice in New Orleans. They'll play their first game tomorrow. Nicholls State from Thibodaux, Louisiana. They worked out a way to play at Indiana. Indiana worked out their cost to get them up to play the football game. So everybody is making it work. It's nice. Everybody's come together.
It's good to see everybody chipping in, too, with these other schools. Everybody extending a hand to help out.
Sure. And there's the quarterback. Erie Pride, 3rd down and 5. Short side. And he gets stopped for no gain. Actually, a loss of a couple. That's Matt Uzel. Probably the best linebacker on this team. He's the senior. Loves Derek Johnson. Big name, Texas football. It was interesting reading all these kids' bios, and there's 90-plus kids in each team. I was blurry-eyed reading all these bios, but it's fun. Fun to read what's important to the kids. Music, a lot of the music, hey, I hadn't heard of some of this music, you know? So it was an education for me. There's the punt back to the 27, and a flag down on the play. We'll figure it out when we come back to Columbus, Ohio. Colerain on top, 27-12. It has been an impressive show for the boys from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Into the run.
These are huge here at the time. For
presents, candles, cake.
Birthdays. I get the big piece.
As your birthdays go by, it's all about planning and portfolios. So ask your Grange and Navy what Grange can bring to the party. Our life insurance policies are designed to protect your assets, backed by Grange's solid financial strength. Nothing makes me feel like seeing your kids smile at your birthday party, except the feeling of knowing their future is secure.
Seconds. 15. 10 seconds. 5.
My call, Tom Luganville back at the U. We got drama. Pitt, Ohio in overtime. Tyler Palko gets picked on by getting picked off. It's by Dion Byron. We saw him earlier, his second pick of the game, and scene.
One completion of 20 or more yards in the last 23 possessions for Pitt. Not good enough. Congratulations to the most underappreciated coach in college football, Frank Solich.
Students rush the field, and for Pitt, it's a 16-10 loss. Their first 0-2 start since 1984, Doug.
Ouch. That's not what Dave Wannstedt was hoping, but they lost a lot of players, especially on the defensive front. We saw that last week against Notre Dame. Simply could not stop the run. And for Frank Solich, it's a comeback story for him, too.
That's a Kodak moment. And, you know, they lost to Northwestern last week, really took it on the chin. So for his guys to come out firing today, credit to the coaching staff. Big win for him.
Yeah, what a way to go down, though, throwing the pick there in OT. Tyler had their opportunities as they got that big turnover to start the third quarter, but so far the second half has been not anything that they would like to remember. Preston Hill now forced to throw the football on almost every play. Finds Jason Williams on the outside. You know, coming into this game, we talked about what we thought was going to happen. And I sensed that Tyler had more speed than Colerain, and I'd watched him on tape, but I'm a little surprised. Colerain really just much more physical. And I thought Tyler could match up in the physical department with him, but they haven't been able to.
I'm very surprised, but I think, again, it shows you that sometimes when you have size, Doug, it can neutralize speed. And I think the big guys up front on the offensive side of the ball for Colerain really did a good job pushing around the interior lineman for Tyler Lee and really just weighing on him.
Yeah, the defensive front all 190, 185, 205, and they're going against those big kids from Colerain. And it's an offense they didn't see much. You don't see that a lot anymore, that wing ball. Boy, Preston Hill took a shot after he threw that pass. I mean, he got flattened to the turf.
You know what also this game shows too is that, you know, these days coaches, offensive coordinators, they have these complicated systems. But,
took a shot right in the midsection.
Go back to that point, they have these complicated systems, but really for Colerain, it's very simple, Doug. But it works, and it worked well for him today.
Encroachment.
So penalty again, Jordan Miller a little anxious there for Colerain. There was nobody between him and the quarterback, and he was anxious to get a sack or at least get a lick. And Preston Hill and Coach Combs still very intense. 3.5 to play, they're up by 15, and he's into it. Big time. Preston Harris fleet of foot. Finds his man on the outside, and he was out of bounds.
That's a sign of a good coach, though, with Coach Combs. I mean, his team's up by 15, but he's still coaching. He knows he has some young players. He wants to continue to develop them. Conversely, you know, Coach Owens, if you really want to see your players go out swinging, you know, you don't want to see them capitulate and give up. He wants to see his guys keep fighting here.
3rd down and 2. 2 for 9 on third down conversions. And if they stretch it, they can now make it 3 out of 10. First down for Tyler Lee. 3:15 on the clock. You know, it's interesting their schedules so far from both of these teams. Tyler Lee at home hosted a team from Hollywood, Florida, Hollywood Chaminade. Then they played Waco in their district. Then they traveled to Ohio, Columbus, to play this game tonight. Colerain played last week at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And they play all over. I mean, these kids are used to big games. Times have changed, haven't they?
And they have, but as a player, you like to go to different areas, play. Sure, see they move around quite a bit, but you get to play with a lot of different talent, a lot of different players. And that's what you want. Go against the best competition. It's only going to make your skills better.
Yeah, that's the remaining schedule for Tyler Lee. Came in 2-0, number 2 in the state as Jason Williams goes forward for a gain of 5 yards. And he comes up walking gingerly to the sidelines, and that's one guy they want to keep intact as they get ready for their district games.
He's been a workhorse today, Doug. He's run the ball inside, outside, very effectively.
Incomplete pass to the outside. Coach Owens told us earlier, he said, listen, with Jason Williams, we're a pretty good football team. He said, if anything happens to him, we're pretty average. And he just limped to the sidelines. I'm sure the kid is okay.
He's a game breaker, and that's what colleges look for, Doug. They look for players like Williams who have the ability to change the game quickly. A lot of talent on this field tonight.
Preston Hill, 15 of 22, 192 touchdowns, 2 picks. To the outside, Nathan Tucker, who caught that touchdown pass in the first half. Bring up third down, run out of bounds by Jordan Miller.
Nice job of Jordan coming up, putting the wood on someone. Getting that uniform dirty.
Now fourth down. And Tyler Lee will go for it on fourth down. 0 for 1 on fourth down and 0 for 2. 1:47 on the clock. Jerry Combs and Colerain celebrating this one. That was the last stand. They'll probably run out the clock. We'll come back for the final wrap-up here. Colerain looks to put the finishing touches on their game against Tyler Lee.
Doctors Hospital is a proud member of the Ohio Health family. It's comforting to know Doctors is one of only 3 accredited chest pain centers in Central Ohio. It's even more comforting to know that they treat your heart as though it's the only way. Together, we are Ohio Health.
Well, for years, football fans from Texas and Ohio have been arguing who has the best football, which is the best football state. And for now, Colerain in the state of Ohio has bragging rights. We'll see what happens tomorrow on the bigger stage when the Longhorns take on the Buckeyes.
This could be a sign, Doug.
And Colerain will run out the clock.
You know what's interesting, Doug, is that Colerain, they're a one-dimensional team. They run the ball, they run it very effectively. And to have this type of success, it's really a credit to them understanding the scheme, but the synergy that they have on offense.
Colerain has attempted 1 pass, if I'm not mistaken. We'll double check that. Yeah, Gary Pride came in 2 for 9, and he was 0 for 1 tonight, so he's 2 for 10 in the season. But that's not his forte. Mel Williams up the middle. Push back.
I tell you what, though, Pride he's held a clinic tonight in running this triple option. He just knows who to get the ball to and when to get the ball to him. But again, I marvel over the fact that they don't need to pass to beat you. When teams talk about having balance, they don't need balance when they can run the ball this effectively.
You know, it's funny, coaches who've been in the business as long as the Tyler Lee coaches have been, as we met them this morning, and they've studied tape, and they knew what they were getting into. And they warned us. Remember that? They warned us. They said, listen, these guys are good. I mean, they can really run that wing bump.
Well, and they also said they're coming into their own. I mean, these guys, for Colerain, they really found their groove tonight. And this loss is going to sting for Tyler Lee. Being a former player, I can tell you, this one hurts.
Take us to a final. Colerain 27.
53 runs
12.
and the one pass. 53 out of 54 plays, running plays.
Absolutely astonishing.
It's the final from Columbus, Ohio, 27-12. Colerain in Ohio has bragging rights over Tyler Lee in Texas. Let's check in with Mike Hall and Tom Luganbill in the studio. Guys, take it away.
Doug, Chris, thanks. Great game. And, well, we found in high school it looks like Ohio rules. Will we find the same thing in the college ranks? What were your thoughts on this game?
I tell you what, the first thing that stood out to me was how well coached these guys were.
Yeah.
This was a very well coached ball club.
Too bad there was no intensity there.
Exactly, and really, Colerain had the physical prowess to stick it to him in the run game, attempted one pass and scored 27 points. But if you turned this game on and didn't know it was a high school football game, you would have thought it was a Division I AA type of game. That's the caliber of athletes that are playing in both of these programs. Very impressive tonight.
We showed you in the fourth quarter. We cut in and mentioned that Pitt has lost again. So now Dave Wanstedt is 0-2, a devastating loss. He expected to probably start out this year 2-0. What's going on?
Well, Tyler Palko's what's going on, and it's not good for the Pittsburgh Panthers right here. He's stolen balls for touchdowns. The problem is, if to the other team, he's got more interceptions for touchdowns than he's got touchdown passes.
Unbelievable.
Finishes 13-26 for 119 yards and 3 interceptions, but 56 of those passing yards came on the last drive of the game.
So if you take away that last drive, he only had how many yards?
63 yards. And 7 completions on the last series.
And I mean, people were saying him and Greg Lee would be the hookup, that we would try to get them this year.
Exactly right.
All right, well, that'll do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow evening, and at noon, you can see John Cooper and Mike Gleason. The first game, they'll have Wisconsin, Brian Calhoun, very hot, plus Florida State will play, Bobby Bowden in action, and then after that, Fresno State, 2 top 25 teams on our air, and it all starts in 12 hours, 20 minutes.